I was gonna say just I was gonna say restart Boba. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Oh shit. There's a problem though.
It
The
was
t-
only recording you. It
yeah, I was only
was
recording
totally
me.
only
Fuck
recording you.
it.
Well, what we were doing is we were doing a beautiful harmony of fuck
Fuck
it.
it. A beautiful
because
harmony of fuck. Dude, I'm
because
back.
the tangents is
Dude,
back,
I'm
baby.
back.
We're back.
Uh,
The boys are back.
You never
as they
really
say.
like you stopped doing some shit, but like
I haven't done
I
tangents
pretty
in
much
months.
I pretty much gave up.
Yeah, that's true.
I
That's
was
true.
just I was just honestly sick of thinking about people,
Yeah,
humans.
people are pretty fucking awful. Plus, then there was also a fucking pandemic.
Yeah, but I think it was more the people.
Yeah,
it was
people,
more. It was more human
the people
beings
have
than
been the worst part of life the
than,
last
yeah.
18 or so months.
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, they've been bad for at least 10 years, but definitely in the last 2 years. So yeah.
For sure.
But we're back, dude.
We're
We're back,
back.
and we have one subject. But because this is tangents,
Who knows
it's
how
like
many
50
there will be,
subjects.
yeah.
Really, it's just we start with the one. And then
Yeah,
kind
we're
of go from
we
there.
usually start with three.
I'm
If
already
you-
like
hold on, hold on.
thinking.
Let's-
I'm
hold on,
already
hold on.
thinking
We
like the
haven't-
next one I'm
we haven't
going
done this.
into
We haven't
while
done
I'm
this in a
talking
while.
about this shit.
We haven't done this in a while. Well, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Tangents
The
podcast. Whew.
Tangents
Wow, it
podcast.
was like riding a bike. If
Ladies
you
and
don't
gentlemen,
know-
boys and girls, children
if
of
you don't
not
know-
all ages. Holy shit, please don't show your kids this.
No, please don't. If you don't know what tangents are, Google is your friend. And I'm
Yeah,
not
if you
doing your
need
work
definitions for tangents, go ahead and Google that up and you'll find out, and then you'll understand what this podcast is about.
And we start with
start
usually
with-
3 topics, but we're
Usually
starting with
three.
one today.
We're gonna do one. We're coming back a little easier. Plus, it's a pretty big topic
heavy
that
one.
we're
It's
probably
a
gonna
heavy one.
converse for a little while. So there is that.
Yeah, and we're just gonna go from there and wherever the whims.
I'm sure we'll.
We usually do stream this live. However, we tried several times and caffeine kept having network errors, and I'm really thinking about just giving up on that whole caffeine thing. It's not what it was when I liked it, and
Right, it's
I
changing.
don't really use it at all.
Yeah, right. It's it's evolving for
What if,
the,
what if
for
we
their
take
ways.
tangents to Facebook Live?
Facebook Live. Oh shit! But you know what? I mean,
Let's
listen.
jump ship. Let's jump.
We
jump the
could.
entire
We
ship.
could. Hey, man. That's the
What
beauty.
if that's where tangents pops?
Dude, that's the
Dude,
beauty
that's
of.
where all the opinionated people are.
Oh my god!
Oh
Holy
my god,
shit!
tangents needs to be on
Oh
Facebook.
yeah, we need to be on Facebook. Oh, what the fuck are we doing?
What are we thinking?
Dude, you know how
That's-
many headaches we're gonna get just from the people that are gonna jump in and. I'm gonna have an aneurysm live on Facebook.
Live on Facebook.
Watch a
First
man,
ever-
watch a
first ever live
dude, watch a
aneurysm.
dude have an aneurysm live on
Right.
Facebook while doing a podcast.
Right.
Yeah, we're talking about, as you guys can see, the subject matter is
Blizzard.
basically it's Blizzard, and Blizzard
Blizzard,
has had.
Activision. It's not just Blizzard. It's Blizzard and Activision. It's the whole fucking shebang.
Well, believe it or not, actually, no, it's not. It is just on the Blizzard side of things. It's the WoW team specifically that was having this issue that they're getting sued for. It wasn't actually on the Activision side of
That's
things.
pretty disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's even more fucked up than anything. Because I would love to blame.
You know what's
Activision.
ironic? I was Eric and I were watching. It's called "I Know That Voice." It's a documentary. It's on Peacock, so you should watch it.
Yeah.
It's about voice actors, and there was a whole segment dedicated to video games, specifically World of Warcraft.
Yeah, how about
and there
that?
there was a woman standing there. She was talking, or sitting there rather, and she was
Sure.
discussing how they go through creating these characters and
Right,
what all the voice acting
right.
goes into. And I was just like sadly and poignantly, I was like, and then unfortunately, you get sexually harassed.
Yeah. I wonder if she was the one that ended up killing herself because of how bad it got.
Yeah,
Listen,
trigger
so
warning, Jesus Christ.
here's the thing. So here's the thing, guys. The reason I really wanted to do this is because I've been watching a lot of people voice their opinion. So I figure, hey, we have a podcast. I'm going to voice my opinion more
Let's
also.
voice that
I'd rather
motherfucking
voice it over a podcast than try to fucking explain my thought process via chat or comments on Facebook messages, on Facebook comments, because, that works very well. But here is what works very well. So, ever since this has come out, obviously Blizzard has been getting a lot of flack for their expansions, right? Their 2 expansions for WoW has been not great. Nobody liked BFA. Listen,
That's what I'm hearing.
Here's the thing. There were people that tolerated it. I was one of them, but nobody cared for 90% of the shit that was in BFA, right? Nobody
Right.
cared for the gearing system, especially the gearing system. That was probably one of the worst subject matters. And then also as well, there was a few other things they introduced that nobody really cared for. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I can see why nobody really cared for it and why it was a relevant system to add.
Right.
Dungeons were fine. The layout of the dungeons, the way they felt, it was all fine. None of that bothered me. But like for me, it was big on the gearing stuff and how they were transforming tanks to what we have now. So there was problems with BFA. Now Shadowlands comes out. Everybody's excited because they finally believe that Blizzard's actually listening to their comments and their ideas and their, because they have all these surveys. I was like, what do you want? Type of deal. But yet
Right.
apparently they don't give a fuck. They just did it to appease you and make
Yeah.
you happy.
Yeah. It's just to make you think that you're actually
make you
part of
think
something.
that you're actually doing some kind of change within the game itself. So after the game comes out, everybody's, enjoying the first release, but there's questions that people are, thinking, and they're like, "Who, man, is this how it's gonna be?" Because like, we know this is just starting, and you can change it with patches, but uh, yeah, it just never changed. It never changed for what people wanted, and the biggest patch of the expansion so far dropped I don't know, what is it, 3 weeks ago at this point? 9.1 dropped 4 weeks ago? Who knows? It was a little before the controversial lawsuit by California. Now, I don't know why it's controversial because this is where I'm really going into this whole subject. Listen, the expansion's bad. The expansion's bad. I'm not happy with it. I don't, like I mentioned, for me, when you're a tank, right, because I main a tank in the game, when you're a tank and you are the one that is supposed to hold aggro, stay in front of mob, and get hit while everybody else, does their job, heals, damage, and all that. You're not supposed to be kiting 95% of the time the fucking ads. So like when I'm a tank, I want to just stand there and feel like a fucking badass that I'm taking the damage. Not I got to get to the fucking other side away to these fuckers and hope that everybody else that's in my group is slowing them down somehow so they're not coming at my ass and destroy me and kill me
Isn't,
faster than the healer can hold me up. Yeah.
isn't that the point of tanks, though?
Uh,
To take damage?
you would think so, but apparently not in this expansion. So
That's an interesting. It's an interesting approach for sure.
yeah, I mean a lot of big time, like a lot of big name main tanks that like were known for doing a raid world first, downing it, like they changed. They're not main tanks. They're good. They went DPS. So yeah, that tells
Rough.
you that there's a problem there.
I
But
played tank for about 12 minutes, like 40 years ago.
yeah, right. But I mean, regardless, expansions being expansions and them making bad decisions is one thing. But then you figure out why they're making bad decisions. And the reason they're making bad decisions, it's not that they're just making bad decisions in the sense of like they're making the decisions, but also they're not paying attention to their employees. And the employees that are making the games, well, they're clearly not happy. So they're going to put not that much effort in wanting to work for a company that's
Sure.
doesn't give a shit about them.
Sure.
So California does their 2-year investigation and lawsuits out. So and
What was that about?
so it's about sexual harassing, mainly about sexual harassing all their female workers, all of them, not just some of them, all of them, all the ones that are at least down that are in the peon position of creating this game, not in the necessarily higher levels
Sure.
of management and stuff. So here's the thing, right? So this comes out, and there's some people that are disgusted by what's coming out from California, and then there's some people that are like, "Oh, I'll hold my reservation." Okay, cool. You hold your thought process until you see what happens with the court and what the final judgment is. Well, that only is relevant. That thought process is only relevant if you only had California saying something. But then after California said, "We're suing you, Blizzard," employees came out and said, "Yeah, these are true. These aren't false. There's nothing incorrect about what they're providing here." Oh, well, then that's a problem. You can't be sitting there and be like, "Oh, I'll wait till the court is official and judgment is put down." No, no. When 2,500 employees signed a petition for a walkout, and they walked out, they didn't work that day, full day of no work. there's a problem. This isn't any more hearsay. This is a fact.
Dude, it is the
Now here's the thing. Some people are like, "Oh, this is cancel culture." No, it's not.
no,
I hate cancel culture. I think cancel culture
no,
is the dumbest thing in the
no.
world. Cancel culture is when somebody said on Twitter 10, 15 years ago some shit, right? Some shit to really just stand out in the crowd, right? To get noticed. That's
Some
why they
dumb
did
shit,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, some dumb shit. And then they haven't done it since. And then you bring up that 10, 15 year ago comment and you're like, cancel them. That's cancel culture. This shit's been going on since 2020. The guy, the instigator, one of the main guys, he's like the core like part of the founding group of Blizzard. He's been there for like fucking 20, 30 years. I don't know. The company's been around for 30 years, so I'm guessing he's been 30 years, maybe 20. He might have not started right away, but his name's like Alex Ass Muncher or something like that. I don't fucking know. But apparently, he is the main guy that all these like so one of the part of the lawsuits is that frat boy environment
Yeah.
where they're doing cube calls after they're getting drunks, and then they're going to these females employees and harassing them during these cube calls. Yeah. So, but one of the reason that was such an okay on the male side of things is because Alex, the big guy in the company, one of the bigger guys in the company, that's what he did. He harassed people. So it was okay. Nobody said anything. So it's okay for everybody else to do it. He just got let go quietly June of 2020. So which means at least until beginning of 2020, this motherfucker has been making this okay. So this isn't some shit that happened 10, 15 years ago. This is some shit that happened up to last year. Up to. You think a company that's been around for 30 years and being still a company within the last 10 years where cancel culture is a thing, you would think that 10 years ago they would have been like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this because we're
Maybe-
gonna get
maybe
we're gonna
we
get
take-
caught.
Yeah, maybe we just like do a little audit internally. Hey, maybe perhaps don't say that to our women
Just maybe.
coworkers.
Yeah, just maybe. So, when people say, oh, this is cancel culture, all these fuckers wanting to quit the game and wants WoW to fail. No, this is not
here's the
cancel
thing.
culture. This has nothing to do with cancel
Bro,
culture.
well,
This has
that's
to
such-
do with
that's
what
such
they've
an
been
ignorant
doing
perspective.
until middle of last year.
That's such an ignorant perspective to say, oh, they just want to quit and not work on the game.
And you know why?
They can-
Alex
they
got
can
let
do
go?
that. They can-
Because California started doing a 2-year investigation.
Dude, here's the thing. If it was just about quitting and not wanting to work on World of Warcraft, cool. They can do that because any other company
Right.
would be like, oh, you worked on World of Warcraft? Please
Yeah.
come work for me.
I
will
mean-
give you
I mean-
my first one.
I mean, Riot Games right now is working on an MMO that's based around League of Legends story. So, and they're looking. I sent you the link. They're looking for people. Anybody that has any kind of talent in creating a game,
Right.
if it's storytelling, visuals, whatever, they're looking for those people. So, like, yes, there is people that will hire you, especially if your resume says, "Yeah, I was a game creator for Blizzard."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can't
come on,
imagine, I
come
can't
on
imagine
over.
that looks bad.
Yeah,
on
I
your
can't
resume.
imagine. The only thing that
What a
looks bad at this. So here's the thing, right? So now you got a company that for two expansions now, 4 years. Well, going on, let's say 3 years, because each expansion's about 2 years. So 3 years now have been delivering poor ass content. And the reason being is because they don't give a shit. Oh, and by the way, during this whole no longer, in my opinion, like I said, once employees get involved and they start stating that California is not making this shit up, it's no longer controversial. Facts are facts, and there's nothing controversial. You know what's right, you know what's wrong, and it's
Right.
wrong to
Agreed.
sexually harass women,
Agreed.
no matter where you're at. I don't give a fuck. So that's wrong. Everybody knows that. So there's no controversy here. They're on the wrong, and they need to pay for this. So while all this is happening, while people are not happy with the expansion, while there's a lawsuit going on, they also find out that Blizzard never gave a shit about your opinion. That came out. There was some developers within the company that were no longer developers within the company, I guess, that came out and said straight up, Blizzard never gave a shit. They created what they wanted to create. They didn't care about what you wanted.
Obviously, because they created.
So
what the
now-
fuck was it? They created was it Diablo Mobile or whatever the fuck it was?
Oh, some shit like that.
and then literally the entire BlizzCon was like, the fuck you say?
Yeah, right.
Like that was one of the most obvious examples of a company not understanding what their actual base wants,
Or not listening.
or just not giving
Or
a shit.
just not
Yeah.
giving a shit. Yeah.
Because like they said that and everyone was like, what?
Yeah, nobody
Like there
gives
was no
about it.
claps.
Yeah.
Everyone was just fucking confused.
And nobody gives a fucking mobile. Like, I play the
And,
shit on
they're
PC.
like, hey guys, it's Diablo on. They were like not sure how to proceed.
Yeah,
Obviously.
obviously.
Because you don't, because none of
Because
these
nobody,
people give a shit.
nobody was looking to play this
If they
game
had
on
said,
mobile.
if they had said we're putting out Diablo mobile in South Korea, everyone would be like, cool.
Sounds good.
South Korea loves fucking mobile
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
Japan,
Go for it.
They love mobile games.
Like, yeah, sure, there's people to
They're-
play mobile games here, but not those kind of mobile games.
And not that heavily.
Not that
But
heavily,
Over there,
yeah.
over there, they also have a much wider assortment of phones and devices.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So like, it's a whole different ball game over there. So for me, if they had been like, if they'd come out and said, "Hey, we're putting out Diablo Mobile in the Eastern markets," I would have been like, "Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes right.
That makes perfect
Right.
sense." Because like,
Right.
what's the most popular mobile game here? PUBG. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Like, that might be the
Like,
most
it is
popular.
popular, but
Like
I,
aside
for
from like
mobile
like
wise,
your
I
Candy
can't.
Crushes and
Yeah,
shit like that.
yeah,
But like actual like full-fledged games,
yeah.
maybe PUBG.
Maybe PUBG.
Maybe Pokemon Go, but even that's kind of like a weird, not really full game.
That's true. Yeah, Pokemon Go is popular, but like
It's also
it's
not like
it's not like
Diablo popular.
right. It's not. Yeah, it's not Diablo's.
Like if they had said Diablo 4, every single person in that fucking arena would have shit a brick.
Ye-
Like a whole
Oh yeah.
ass fully
Oh yeah.
formed
Yeah.
brick.
For sure. For
But
sure.
they were like mobile. And everyone was like, huh?
Huh? Right.
Like
Um.
they clearly don't give a shit. I cannot believe that they let this culture go on. I went full wipe, dude.
Well, same
I
here. So that's what I'm
deleted-
saying.
I
Like,
uninstalled everything, deleted my account, deleted my authenticator. I like sent the request to
Yeah,
delete
yeah.
my complete account.
yeah. So
I do not exist in Blizzard.
So here's the thing. This is what I want whoever's watching or whoever's listening or watching, and
That's funny.
and if they're, I know, right?
It's an arrow called.
And if they're playing the game, right? If they are still playing Blizzard games, here's my thing for you. One, stop supporting fucking assholes, right?
Yep.
Until there's a real change, do not give them money. Do not, even if you say, "Oh, well, I canceled my account. I still have 3 months left on a 6-month subscription." Who cares? I have 4 months left. I haven't touched that game. Who cares? Because as long as they see you log on, they know they still have you.
Right.
As long as they know that you are active and you are on,
Yep.
they still have you. And you know what? It's probably true. They probably do still have you because
They
you'll
do,
probably
because
because you'll
people are-
probably reactivate when it's close to being done.
Exactly.
And then you're supporting a company that doesn't give a shit about their employees. The employees that bring you these games. The employees that want to be there to bring you a really good game, but they can't because management's too concerned about money, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all they're concerned about. There was if you open up Firefox or whatever and look up, I think it's
We didn't
I,
test this. Let's
I
see if this
think
works.
it's Activision or there it is. I think it's Activision CEO. She's a female. She's either in Activision or Blizzard. Just look up Activision female CEO or something like that. Nah. If that's him, no, that's she's like a blonde lady. Just search Activision female
CEO,
what's a word for like
CFO, like board member,
yeah, like board member or something along those, something like higher up.
board of directors. Let's see. Dudes. You know, Dawn. There's one.
Maybe look it up. Let's see. I believe it was her.
Dawn Ostroff is an American business person, chief content officer at Spotify, and former president.
Okay.
Maybe she was recently hired. I mean, she's on the board. She's
Listen,
necessarily-
so
she's
it's
not
what
necessarily
it might be
in
her.
the
It was
house.
one of the females executive. That's the word, executive, female executive in Blizzard. It was one of the executives there. She's a female, and she said, "Oh, well, I didn't get treated like this." And I just want to reply. I just wanted to reply with, all that means is that it doesn't happen in the higher up, or all that means is somebody.
Fran Townsend. I don't think that's her. I think that's the.
I'm like,
She's
all that
black, I think,
means is that Alex wasn't willing to do it to you, and all that means is that you don't pay attention to your female employees that are technically considered peons in your company.
Activision Blizzard's torture apologist executive is now blocking employees on Twitter.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So
Torture apologist.
yeah.
That's,
So yeah, dude, that's all that means. All that means is that you just don't pay attention to your employees. Just because you didn't realize it, that just shows people how much you actually cared, how much you paid attention. Like you never cared to go to that section of employees to see how people do anything. You don't have to announce your visit. That's the whole point. Go there by surprise to see how people are. And so yeah, so to me it's like, it's whatever.
no, I'm doing it.
So like to me it's like I'm sitting there and I'm like all these stupid comments from people like her, and then people that are still like have reservation to not cancel the company. I'm like, this isn't a question of like, did this happen? This is a question of like, this happened, has been happening,
Yeah.
and now it's stopping because there's a fucking lawsuit.
Yeah.
And it's everybody's talking about. Blizzard employees are talking about it.
Yeah.
Ex-Blizzard employees are tweeting about it. Like very apparently well-known Blizzard employees that were in the game development. They were part of the community that like talked with people that were like streamers or really dedicated gamers that were always talking to these guys. Went on Twitter and said, "Yeah, this shit's legit. Like, this is not a." And then I still hear people like you said when you canceled your shit. You said you saw people saying, "Oh, I'm gonna wait for the court date."
It was something. It was something. I think I was on TikTok. It was somebody's comment. They were like, "I'm going to wait until the court case is done," and somebody else was like, "Well, good luck with that, since there's nothing really that needs to be decided on. Like, this is very clearly
Right.
This is very clearly what happened."
Right. This is what happened. Like at this
Like-
point, there's no, and there isn't. Like that's what I don't understand. There is no.
I think if this last 18 or so months have proven anything, it's that people will say "nuh-uh" right in the face of proof.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, and that's a perfect example. I mean,
Nuh-uh.
you had a fucking pandemic. I always say world pandemic, but that's what pandemic means. It means there's a virus that the world's dealing with. Yeah, it's a global thing. But I say it because people don't know that, so I just say a global pandemic.
When I had a job, that was something I would constantly bring up. People would ask, like, "Oh, why can't I do this? Like, why can't I have an appointment sooner?" And I would just be like, "Well, I'm sure you've heard about the global pandemic."
Yeah. The global pandemic. Well, because
you've heard.
I say global pandemic because here's the thing: we have a lot of idiots in the United States of America. They're like, they're making us wear masks. They're taking our freedom away. I'm like, the world. I could understand if this was a U.S. only thing,
Dude, to me, that's the
but
same
the
level.
world.
It's the same level of idiocy as when our cousin was like, "Oh, it's not a scam, but
Apparently, that's
it's a hoax."
Apparently, that's a.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's Q. That's all Q. That's the whole Q thing.
Yeah, I found that out recently.
Dude,
I found that out recently. I was like, "What? This is an
She was
actual.
like-
This is an
when
actual."
She said all of the countries got together and they made up
Dude.
the virus
Dude.
so that they could get people off the streets, so that they could
Two
get,
governments-
and I
listen.
quote, all
Listen,
all
Listen,
the sexual
two
trafficking.
governments can't get together to do one thing
Dude,
together.
two mayors can't agree on one thing to do for this.
Literally,
it's
look at
basically the
I
same
was
people.
gonna say, look at the country. Look at this country, the United
governors
States.
can't agree.
You can't get two governors to agree on shit.
You
How
probably
the
can't
fuck
get
did
two
the
mayors
how
to
did the
agree.
world of governments come together and be like, let's see how far we can take this
Like,
to control people?
I was like, you can't if you were to put 106 people in a room, and they wouldn't be able to all agree on one thing.
they can't. We watch it as
Bro,
the
106 126 countries.
Yeah.
Stop.
But they can't because we watch it. We watch it on TV or like monthly. Where what is it? House of Representatives. They can't agree on anything. They just we watch it. We watch it monthly.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, we watch it. We watch it.
That's a brilliant comparison.
We watch it monthly. Here in this country, they
In
can't
every
agree on
country.
shit.
In every country. Have you ever seen a fucking parliamentary fucking debate?
I think I watched like
British ones?
I've never watched, but I think
Bro,
I like
they
caught
just
glimpses.
fight.
Yeah,
They
they
just
just fight.
argue.
Yeah, they just
They
yell at each
just-
other.
but they have like
But
they
apparently-
have perfected like polite yelling at people.
Yeah.
It's fucking-
Yeah, but apparently the world got together to see how much
whole
they can
world.
control.
And all
Oh,
the sex
well, yeah.
all-
So there's that one, right? There's if you believe the sex trafficker one for the whatever. What's the word? Conspiracy. Or if you want to argue with the people that are saying, that's taking away my rights, my freedom.
Oh yeah, the whole world. Got
The
together
whole
to
world?
Take away all of
The
our
whole
rights.
world got together to see how much they can control. Yeah, because the whole world's being asked. And it's ironic because like people are like, oh, they can't force us to shut down. We never shut down.
No.
You know
we
who did
had
shut down?
Australia.
New Zealand. New Zealand got rid of it twice because of actually shutting down, like everything shut down.
What did I say in fucking April of 2020, Hannes? If everyone just shuts the fuck up for 1 full month, 4 fucking
Dude,
weeks.
that's all it took.
If everyone just shuts
That's all
the
it took.
fuck up for
Dude,
4 weeks.
here's the thing. New Zealand, they took off, I think, a whole month when the shit got bad.
They locked down the
They
country. Said
locked
no
down the
fucking
country for a
traveling.
whole month. Not just they locked out the country for no travel. They
Everyone, yeah.
also locked out the country
Everything,
like you can't you shut the fuck up, sit in your house.
Yep.
You can't go anywhere. Nothing's open. Whole month gone. Virus gone.
Gone.
Literally
They
no
opened-
cases.
They opened the door for 5 minutes. One American chick shows up. They got a fucking outbreak. Shut it down again.
Dude, no cases. They opened the country up to local, to them, still fine. They open up travel, boom, bit
For
somebody
5 minutes,
for 5 minutes.
one
Yeah.
chick from
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, literally. Shut down again, gone again. They opened up again, but didn't apply
But
travel.
Americans are shooting people because they're being told.
Yeah, but
put a
apparently,
mask
but
on.
apparently we have shut down, and that was fucked
Bro,
up.
in China,
They forced us to
welded
shut down.
doors
Yeah,
shut.
yeah, they forced us to shut down here. By the way, they
so
forced us to
stupid.
shut down,
Here's the
and
thing,
that was not
the
right. And then,
level
look,
of-
it did nothing anyways.
Well, here's the thing. Here we are. Here we are.
That's the best one. Look, it did nothing, but because nobody shut down, everybody was still going everywhere. Of course,
Yeah,
it
of
did
course it did
nothing.
nothing.
Nobody actually did what we were supposed to.
Yeah, because we had a president that wouldn't put on a mask for 8 months.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. He said shoot sun rays in his veins, right?
Yeah, he also said
Yeah.
to put antiseptics inside of you.
Inside of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because he was like you
You should just drink it,
Yeah,
right?
he said you could disinfect surfaces. He's like maybe we could find a way to put that inside the
Oh,
body.
yeah. And we should figure out how to put that, to disinfect our
And then the doctor
inside.
behind it was like, "Don't drink disinfectants."
Yeah, right?
And I bet in her head she was like, "I cannot believe I have to say this because our president just
Right.
set up the potential
So
situation where somebody might."
yeah. So and I should be, it should be obvious to us that if people are willing to listen to a moron when it comes to a world issue, well, then of course there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to wait till a court date for something that clearly is happening.
Oh yeah, that person probably also believes that Trump won.
Oh, he did win. He's going to be our savior. Oh wait.
No, yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah. Didn't that date pass though when he was going to be our savior?
They keep moving the date.
Oh, they keep. Oh, well, of course.
Last I checked,
of
they
course.
keep moving the date. It was gonna be January 27th or 29th.
Wasn't it going to be May at some
Then it
point
was-
or something?
Yeah, it was gonna be February. Then it was gonna be March. Then it was gonna be April. Yeah,
Oh, it just keeps moving. Oh.
It keeps moving. If you
Well,
keep
once
moving-
once you once
if
you once
keep
you hit
moving
what
the
20?
goalposts-
Well, once you hit 2024, then the possibility is there because he's going to run again. So like,
yeah,
yeah,
for sure, running
for
in
sure.
2024.
Oh, he's running. You know he is.
I mean, I don't think he could run to the fucking fridge.
But he's definitely running for presidency.
I don't know. I don't think. I'm really hoping he doesn't. I'm really hoping he doesn't. Biden is. I also half hope that Biden dies.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like
Is
I
that
don't.
a weird thing to
here's
say.
here's-
I hope Biden fucking croaks. I hope.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like here's the thing. People are going to
Why
be
can't
like,
I think of her name?
I,
Vice president.
Yeah, I forgot her name. Listen,
Kamala.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So people are like, "Oh, so you think Biden's better?" No, I don't think.
Yes, no,
Hold on. Let me say.
factually,
Let me.
absolutely.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. They don't say better. They say, he's the good option. I'm like, nobody's the good option. He's just better than that asshole.
Yeah.
like,
That's the funny thing.
like,
Everyone's
you know
like,
what's
oh,
not happening right now in the country? He's not up on his stand every fucking day or on Twitter every fucking day trying to divide the entire country.
yeah.
Guess what he's already doing better? Not dividing the entire country.
Yep. Not being.
But guess what the other idiot did?
Not
Divided the entire country on purpose. That should be illegal, by the way. If you are the president of the United States and you are purposely providing lies, you are providing incorrect facts on purpose to create division, you should be instantly not just fired.
But he didn't.
Oh, he didn't know. He didn't know.
He didn't know. It's not on purpose.
Oh, it's not. He
Know.
didn't know. Why was he president if he didn't know? If he can't use his brain.
Yeah, we could definitely talk about the what we should have as far as requirements for being president.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I feel like there should be a test you need to pass
Boy.
before
Yeah,
you can even put your name in the
by
running.
those rules, Bush would not have
Oh,
made
of
it.
course, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Trump or Biden would not have made
Oh,
it.
no doubt, no doubt. But I'm saying there should be a test.
Hillary might have. Hillary might have.
There should be a test that you need
Kamala.
to take to get like 100% pass, not a little pass, 100% pass before you can run.
You got to pass an A plus.
Before you can run.
And
I'm just saying.
Hottest, hear me out. It's a trick question. It's a trick test. It's like very basic questions.
Super basic.
However, the instructions say write your name and turn it in.
Yes. Yes.
Super,
yes.
It's a trick test. It is for simple, basic fucking comprehension.
Just super
If
basic.
you cannot follow the fucking instructions on this test,
Super basic.
you cannot be president.
Super basic.
Write your name, hand it in.
So yeah, man, it's I'm seeing a bunch of stupidity in the world, and especially in this country. Ironically, listen, it is happening in the world, but it's definitely more present in this country. The stupid is more present in this country.
Hey, at least we didn't have our president saying, nope, there's no such thing as COVID. Also, burn down the forest.
Burn down the forest. Yeah, that's
What was it? Maldonado?
I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
The guy in Brazil.
Yeah.
Needs to get fucking shot
Yeah.
on
So
too.
burn down the rainforest.
At least we are not currently actively persecuting a specific religious group as a country,
Oh yeah.
like officially.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's China.
Yeah.
Fucking cancel me, bitch.
Yeah. Super cancel me.
Please block me, China. Please
Super
block me.
cancel me.
That's my goal. We've talked about this. Our goal on this podcast
Is to get China notice
banned
us
in China.
to
If we can
to get
in
banned.
China,
Yeah, ban me in China,
we have
please.
accomplished the goal of this
By the
podcast.
way, just if anybody's confused, when we say we don't like China, that doesn't mean the
Chinese
human people that are there. We're talking about the fucking government that's behind stupidity. It's like it's crazy to me. Like people are insane, right? So there are some people that are just they hate all Asian people because of COVID. All of them. They blame every single Asian person available.
Yeah.
Not just China, all Asians.
Yep.
They're all responsible. What? First of all, no Asian human is responsible. If anybody's responsible, it's just their government and possibly even our government, because we have a testing lab that's there that does fuck with viruses. So if you want to do conspiracy, that's the biggest conspiracy that could be truthful.
So supposedly the and this is again super hearsay. I'm not fucking making any
Yeah.
claims.
But if
like,
there's a conspiracy to believe, that would be the best
The
one.
supposed thing, and this is kind of where, and I saw it. I watched a dude who did this whole fucking thing, and he talked about like how we got off track of having both of these potential origins, because like there was the potential origin of there being some sort of animal situation
Where it was eaten or whatever, right?
Yeah, it was like
a bat.
'Cause most
Yeah,
recently,
something.
like,
Bat.
most frequently, it's been
It's
like
a
a
bat,
situation.
yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of people were saying bat, and eventually people just said that it was. Not that it might have been. That it just was. It's just like the media just decided at some point to just change the fucking vocabulary.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then everyone fucking ran with
Well,
it.
yeah.
And And then he tries to, like, with this guy who did this like documentary on how this all kind of like devolved. He talked about like, and then this moron who like typically is like a right wing fucking says crazy shit guy.
Yeah.
He's like, and then he said this, and then he literally cut himself in like from the editing point of view. He's like, I've been editing this. He's like, I really thought that was gonna be worse. He's like, but what he said was reasonable. I don't. He was like confused. He like, didn't know how to proceed. He's like, this guy's usually the one we look at to be like, fucking crazy guy. But he was just like, this is a possibility. This is a possibility. We need to research what happened. And he's like,
Holy shit.
I thought it was gonna be way different.
Holy shit.
He's like, I remember it being different.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No,
and,
it's
so the situation. I don't know if we talked a lot about the whole Florida situation where they had that inspection like
Yeah.
2-3 years ago, and they were
Yeah.
like, fix your shit or this building's going down.
yeah.
Supposedly, and again, super fucking third, fourth fucking party hearsay. Supposedly, there was some sort of investigation regarding the security at the Wuhan lab, like 4 or 5 years ago,
Right.
and similar shit. It was like, not really as secure as it should be.
Right.
Not like Atlanta secure.
Right.
You don't want to know why most people don't know about the Atlanta fucking facility
it's
that
so
has
secure.
live fucking Ebola in
Yeah,
it.
because it's so secure.
Because nothing ever gets out.
Right, right.
Like,
Yeah.
The only reason I know about it is because it was on an episode of 7 Days.
Yeah.
Like no one knows about that lab because nothing ever fucking happens because they're fucking 4, 5, 6, 7 fucking levels of
Right,
security
right,
before you can get out of the building.
Right.
Apparently not quite as secure in Wuhan, and that's where the current theory lies that what happened was that some shit got out like on accident.
Yeah, and
Like,
listen.
no, at this point there's nothing pointing towards like an intentional fucking
Right, right.
release.
Was it on accident or on purpose? I would say if somebody asked me, I would be like, listen, if I was to believe anything, it's this. It came from that lab. It was probably an accident, right? I wouldn't think it was on purpose. It was probably an accident. However, I will say the purposeful part is somebody found out, they hit it, and they said it'll blow over,
yeah.
and it didn't, and
Yeah.
it got bad,
And I mean,
world
that's,
bad.
That's just Chinese.
Yeah, of
government
course.
For you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's par for course for them.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's for them. Anything that might
100%.
maybe make them look inappropriate automatically gets shut down.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why we really have like so very little information about the whole Uyghur Muslim thing. Like they have camps of people, death camps basically. Like there's just no way around that.
Yeah.
We have nothing. There's not a single photo that I'm aware of. Like they have that shit on lock.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So, I mean,
they had a whole fucking movie filmed down the fucking street, basically, from those camps.
oh, I know. So, yeah, man. So, to me, it's like, after seeing almost, I guess it's getting to 2 years of
Coming up, yeah.
stupid on that part. I'm not surprised on just seeing idiots not take into consideration of everything that's being handed to them, and still trying to somehow say nothing's official.
Right.
Like what? Where is it not official? Like this lawsuit's legit.
Yep.
Like California, it's not like a single female employee is talking bad about Blizzard and try to accuse her. The state of California said, we're investigating your ass, and now after 2 years, we're suing your ass because you guys are awful. There's no like, well, we'll wait to see what happens. What? No, this shit happened. That's why there's a lawsuit by the state. That's why California is doing it and not a single human being, because this shit's bad. And then when you have employees coming out, ex-employees and even current employees coming out and saying, yeah, no, this is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to think about. There's nothing to reconsider. And if you're sitting there like, this is just cancel culture, you're an asshole, because this has nothing to do with cancel culture. I'm not telling you to be mad at them for them saying something dumb 11 years ago. Like, for instance, there is something that's coming up from 2013. There's an old BlizzCon video from 2013. A female guest. She wasn't. I don't think she's an employee, but I think she was just there as the audience at BlizzCon. Asks these guys that are behind Blizzard because they're talking about the next World of Warcraft expansion that's going to be coming out, and one of the things she says is something along the lines of like, why do all your female characters look like they came out of a swimsuit magazine.
Right.
Right. And he said, well, what kind of magazine do you want them to come out of? Right. As in, like, what's wrong with this type of deal? Okay. So that reply, right, in 2013 wouldn't matter to me. Right. That was 2013. They haven't done it since. To me, that doesn't matter. But now you throw in
the current behaviors,
the behaviors that clearly,
behavior.
the ongoing behaviors that almost certainly have been going on since then, if not before then.
And that at that point, I would definitely be looking at. All right, so let's go back to 2013.
Right.
Let's look at any.
And this is how, and they were all laughing up there after he replied, and they said some other stuff, and like, you know, it was hard to see her face because her reaction wasn't that great when they said it. But I can believe that them not being able to see her face. I mean, they're sitting on a fucking stage with lights blasting them. I'm not surprised that they can't see her reaction, because one of the guys that's no longer there, he apologized for it, right? Because I think he was the guy that replied, and he said, "I'm sorry. You know, this was back then, and I didn't even think about, you know, how." If a question like that would come up, how I would reply, and obviously the reply was very poor taste, and you know, he apologized. Then, okay, cool, he apologized, and he hasn't been with the company.
He's had some personal growth.
Yeah, he's had some personal growth, but once again, if this came out, right, and somebody was trying to say this was the bad, right, no lawsuit, no employees saying, yeah, this shit's legit, just some dude that replied badly in 2013, I wouldn't give a shit.
Right.
I'd be like, that was 2013. He hasn't done shit since. He's not even with the company. Don't give a fuck.
Right.
But you have a fucking lawsuit that's coming out. A woman killed herself for how bad the sexual harassment was. The dude that's a fucking main reason on why the shit was continued to be okay just left in 2020. Quietly, by the way, under the table. They were like, yeah, he resigned middle of 2020. Because the lawsuit started, or because the investigation started. Well, that means this shit's been happening at least since 2013, since that comment.
Right.
So yeah, now that video and that comment matters more because that shit. So it's not stuff that's, it happened 15 years ago. It happened 10 years. No, it continued to happen. It continued to happen until an investigation started. It continued to happen even during the investigation because that's how they found out it was true. Because it happened during the conversation.
That's the thing is.
Or investigation.
It's one thing to talk about like some shit that people did 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Because I was talking to Celeste. We went to Colorado this weekend.
Yeah.
And we were, 15 hours there, 15 hours back.
Yeah.
Plenty of fucking time to talk.
Plenty of time to fucking talk about something.
I drove the whole way there. The whole way there. Straight.
Damn.
Straight. No fucking naps, nothing.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Not at all, dude.
Oh no, yeah, no. I mean,
like,
I'm saying
I hold my steering wheel like this, my inside of my fucking middle finger. No. I mean, I'm not saying not a fucking fun time. I'll tell you what. But we talked about how when we first met, like right after we first met, we talked online for like a little bit, and then we weren't friends for like 6 months because I said some ignorant shit
back then,
and it was very much a situation of I used to say shit to like get a rise out of people to like sound like I'm cool.
That's usually what a lot of people do it for.
And
even if they don't admit to it, that's usually why a lot of people do it for.
100%, that's all it was for me. I was just trying to like sound cool and edgy,
right?
Like you say, like edgy jokes and like you're a cool guy. And it's funny because like we're such close friends now that like it's laughable to think that's how it was. That's what it went down. Yeah, but it's one of those things like if you had that same conversation from 2 weeks ago,
right? That would be different.
Or a similar conversation from 2 weeks ago,
right? That's different. That means you continued your ways.
You haven't done anything.
You haven't changed.
There's been no growth.
Yeah.
Like it's all context always matters. I think there is very few situations in which context won't matter.
100%.
Like if you're racist, like there's not really much context that's gonna make you not racist.
Nah. If you just are like. There's no way to. Here's the thing: if you say something that's clearly racist, and then somebody's like, "They're not racist," you're just racist yourself. That's the only reason you're saying that. Yeah. And there's no other way to look at it. It's not to be mean. It's not to use the word racist to really just try to call you out. No, you just simply are. You if you were willing to say something that horrific, that's what you are.
We were
Like
at
that one dude, the drunk guy. Did you see the report on the drunk guy? There was a drunk guy that I guess went to his neighbors, um, and he said some awful shit to them, and they're obviously black, and he's a
well,
white
not
dude.
obviously. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that we're talking about racist, so like,
Right.
obviously they're usually when it comes down to racism, a lot of
Sure.
time, I would say majority of the time it happened to be about black people, not about necessarily Asians or Hispanics or
Sure.
anything like that. And so he got called out. It went like Philip DeFranco did a story on this. Dude, like after the video came out, like just a giant protest was in
Oh, I
front of his
remember
house.
this. I remember this.
And
Dude.
then he was like, I was drunk, I was angry. I'm like, bro, I've never
No.
I've been so drunk that I
I've
don't remember what I
I've been,
did
I
while I
have
was
been
drunk.
super blackout drunk. And
Never
I
been
not-
told that I
not-
was ever a racist
Never
during
once did
that
that
time.
turn racist.
Nope. Nope. Never in one
That's the
time
shit-
was a
that's the
like
shit that I-
was a
'cause
like
they try to fucking play that shit with
Listen.
Roseanne too, because she was like,
Listen.
oh, she was on Ambien, and the fucking makers of Ambien are like, Ambien doesn't make you racist.
Listen, is there things out there that might adjust your mood, your attitude, your the way you perceive or think about shit? I'm sure
You
there
might
is.
say some impolite shit.
Right.
You might say some shit.
Listen,
You might say
in
some shit.
anger.
Like if you if we were getting drunk and we got into a heated discussion,
Yeah.
you might call me a fat ass.
Yeah, dude. Like in anger, I'll say some horrible shit, but
But
I've never
but
been.
you would
I've
never
never
call
been
me
racist.
like
Yeah.
you would never,
Yeah,
even
I've
if
never-
there was a black person in the room, you would never call them a racist term,
Right.
because that's not what being drunk makes you.
Yeah, it just like it will just it'll loosen you up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. The
Yeah.
same thing that happened with what was his face, Michael Kramer. Fucking when he was like,
Oh yeah.
he was bombing on stage, and he's like, "What's the fucking worst thing I can say?" I don't necessarily think that he's fucking racist,
Right.
but he was just like, "What could I fucking shock this whole place with?"
Well, it's not.
It was the wrong move. It was 100% the wrong move.
Well,
but I think that
here's
that's
the
where
thing.
he
Here's the
was coming
thing. Here's the thing, though.
Because I haven't really seen any evidence one way or the other.
Yeah, like I've never seen him do that ever
Granted,
before.
I haven't
or
seen him since then.
well, yeah.
Pretty
I
sure
mean,
that dude disappeared off Facebook.
nah. He did with cars and or comedians in cars with Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh,
he did.
shit,
He
I
did.
gotta catch up on that.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. He did
I
it.
gotta
He
catch
did
up
it.
on that.
He did an episode with him,
Curious.
and they talked about it. And he says, hey, man, I have no answer for that. Like that was fucking completely unacceptable. But at the same time, like the reason he did it, it wasn't to get a rise. Is he was pissed off that the guys wouldn't shut the fuck up. Like there was, I don't know if it was a guy or a couple or what, but like he flipped out on a specific set of people because they wouldn't shut up. He's trying to do bits. So he's like, great, if you don't like it, walk the fuck out. But like, why are you sitting here and like and I get it, being mad and saying the most awful thing you can think of, because I do it too. When I get angry, like to a point where I'm snapped, I will think of the most awful thing I can say just to get you as angry as I am.
That's funny. I don't know that you've ever said any. You have threatened me physical violence.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
because
is
we
still
just
one of
couldn't
my
like I was
absolute
getting
favorite.
because
that
I-
is
because
one
I
of my
could-
absolute favorite examples of my.
because I was like,
failure
you're
to
just
be-
not fucking listening.
Well, because that's my favorite example of my failure to communicate. Because what I was saying to me made sense.
Made sense. Where
But you didn't hear
clearly
what I was
not
thinking.
not even remotely, because I was
Because
just
what I was
getting
saying,
even more
I was
and
like
more.
finishing a sentence.
Right. Where
I just kept repeating the end of a sentence. to you.
Yeah. Where I was just
And
like,
you were like, if you fucking say it again, I will
I
hit
was
you
like,
with the stapler.
but
And
I
was
will,
just
but
like,
I will say some awful shit, man. I've done it to my mom. I've done it to my sister, because when I snap bad. So listen, I get it. I get snapping and thinking of the worst thing you can say, and some of that shit might be racist, right? If depending on who it's directed towards. I can see it. You might not be racist, but you might be so fucking pissed, so to a point where you've snapped.
I don't know.
Trust me, man.
I don't know that
I am always concerned. I am worried because, obviously we've heard the words. We've heard the hatred in our lives. We've learned about the hatred. So I am worried that one day, due to how I am mentally, that I might snap and say something fucking horrible that I would never want my niece to hear, or even my kid, or my nephews, because that's not what I believe. But I snapped to make that person as mad as me.
Well, that sounds like you've got a lot of things to still discuss with your therapist.
Oh, dude, I mean, I have issues I've been
Um,
constantly working on that. I'm trying a
and
bunch of
here,
things to try to not even snap. Like,
bro, well, exactly, and that's how it should be. That's where you should be, and I am
so
slowly
here's
getting
the
there.
thing. Is it Here's the thing. This guy that claims he was drunk. From what I've heard, that's not the first time he's done that shit.
Yeah,
So that's why, like, for me, it was like, I have a hard time believing this is just you being drunk and upset
yeah.
at yourself or whatever you're upset at for that time. Whatever your snapping point was.
And I'll
Um,
tell you what, I watched the video of him fucking sitting there yelling. He didn't look like
the little
out
bit,
of his. He didn't
the
look
little
like
bit that
out of his
Phil,
mind drunk.
the little bit that
He looked like loose lips drunk.
right.
And that to me is like, nah, you were ready to
I
say
can
that
see
shit.
I can see if you're black. Like, I've been blackout and I don't remember what I did. I couldn't
Yeah,
possibly. Like, I've been blackout
he
drunk.
didn't because I've seen video of myself blackout drunk.
Right.
It's not a fucking pretty picture. No one should watch it.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm sure it's not a pretty
at
picture
no
for
point,
anybody.
actually, oh my god, even then, I was like, because I did say something that is like marginally, if you wanted to, I'm sure you could take it as like a racist thing, but my buddy
You can take a
Scott
lot
was
of
writing
things.
on my foot, and I remember, dude, I was so fucking drunk, I could barely feel my body, and I was sitting there. They had already drawn on my face, I could tell,
Right.
and he was writing on my foot, and I'm like, stop writing on me. Stop writing on me, you Filipino motherfucker. That's all I said.
Right.
So
And
like
that could-
all I
and
did was I identified his
You
nationality.
that, but you could take it nowadays.
You can absolutely take
Nowadays,
it
you
as a
could
negative
really, go with that, right?
thing. Right. You can absolutely
Um,
take it as a much worse thing. But even then, like drunk, beyond being able to physically control my body.
Yeah. No, and
Because I woke up to like having almost died.
yeah,
from
once
puking.
again, man,
I was gone.
I've been so drunk where I normally I've been drunk to where I still know what's going on, but like clearly I'm numb and like I'm barely walking, but I know what's going on. Like, I know still overall where I'm at. What, dude? I've been so drunk, I literally cannot recall. Like, all I know is where I started. I don't know what I've done before I woke up. So I believe that you can get to a point where you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe that you can.
But there's also,
But
I think
there's-
also something to that where, when you get to that point, that is just turning off all inhibitions, all self-control.
Yeah.
Anything you say, I feel like is still part of you. It might be a deep down part. It might be a deep down part that you are not.
Here's the thing.
Dealing with,
Here's the thing. It
identifying.
might be part of you, but it might also be just part of what you've learned.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily learn how to be, but just heard what has happened, what has
Exactly,
been, and
exactly.
that's like, don't get me wrong, dude. Dude, every day, I hate racism. I hate people who hate on others for how they look, for what they believe in. I don't care if you call me a hypocrite because I'm hating on any Trump supporters. Yeah, I hate
That's
them.
different.
I hate them for what they believe.
That's
in.
not belief
Uh,
in something. That's
yeah,
belief
right,
In a
and-
person.
yeah.
People are fallible.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
Can't believe in a person.
I
Not
hate
like
that,
that.
right? I hate that people do that. Absolutely despise it. But I won't lie to you. Like, there's a deep fear in me that, like, one day I might snap, and it's either because I'm stupid drunk or just because I'm at that snapping point that I can get to and just pull out shit that's horrible. Like, I'm talking about flat out 1940s horrible, which, like the worst shit.
That's where we differ. I don't think I could. I am taking such active steps to like eliminate shit from my vocabulary. I had stopped using the N-word while singing a while back.
Right.
But it was kind of one of those, like, if it happened to slip through, I wasn't like mad about it. I'm singing, it's in the song, I'm just going along.
Here's the thing.
I watched a video where this dude, it's like the Happy Ginger or something. I forget his name. I'm gonna cut that in right here. And I watched this clip, and he's explaining how it's not a different word if it ends in an A. The reason it ends with an A is because it is said in AAVE, which is what a lot of people refer to as Ebonics. In Ebonics, words that end in ER become A. It's the same word.
Right.
You're not saying a different word that means something different.
Here's the thing. To me,
and I was just like,
to me,
it was like a fucking switch in my brain, dude.
I've never looked at
eliminating it entirely. I don't say it.
I've never looked at either writing differently. I've always looked at it exactly the same. My problem is simply this: if it's in a song and somebody sings it, that's on you. Don't put it in a song. What are people going to do if they like your song? They're going to sing it. They're not going to think about filtering a fucking word.
But I disagree with you.
No.
I disagree with you.
And that's fine.
I'm doing it actively.
Well, that's great. That's great. I'm glad that you are. But I'm telling you right now, if I'm repeating something word for word, I'm going to repeat it word for word. So don't do it. Don't fucking put it in there. If you don't want to repeat it, don't do it. It's simple as that.
I absolutely see your point.
Because I've done movie
at.
quotes. And I repeat them word for word. If I can remember them word for word, I will repeat them word for word. I've done. If I memorized music, I memorized music. I'm not gonna figure out how to alternate your song for you to make everybody happy because you chose to make it one way, and then I, who am not an artist, to figure out how to say it, do it a different way. No, I'm not the artist.
I found that as like a fun challenge.
That's great. That's to somebody who is creative and actually is creative within music itself. But people aren't. So don't expect that.
That's true.
People are idiots.
Like I said,
so
I
once again,
see
this
where
goes back to everything we've discussed about people being stupid. People are so stupid that you can't possibly expect them to filter themselves. They are that stupid.
People are very stupid. That's very true.
For you to believe that, oh, well, when I release this song and it has this word in it, they're going to filter themselves. No, they're not. They're so stupid, they think Trump was Jesus Christ himself. So, that's...
like some do.
Almost certainly. He is the savior. He is
the savior.
The savior. So, yeah, when you know that that's the world you live in, sorry, you are wrong.
I absolutely see what you're saying.
You're wrong to expect anything else. So if you don't want the word repeated in a song, in a lyric, don't have it in there. Don't have it in there. Some better human beings might be able to do it, but most, at this point, I truly believe that there's 70% are stupid. 70%. I believe 70% are stupid and hateful, and there's only 30% of actual decent people in here. You're going to hear that fucking word and those lyrics repeated 100%. And don't be mad. You should be mad at yourself for doing it, for allowing it to be there, for them to do that. Because you got to control yourself because others can't control themselves. If you want to be better, then you have to be better. If you know that there's a problem in this country and in the world for people saying that word, and then you, as an artist, knowing that, still release that word in your lyrics because you're being creative about explaining culture within the song, right? Explaining the issues within that song by using that word. Well, you've just opened up a fucking 70% of idiots to repeat that shit.
I look, like I said, I can't.
So you have to be the better person.
I can't argue with you.
So you wanna talk about being better? Well, you have to be better about that.
There have been songs that I have heard the edited version, and I have felt they have been perfect, and then I hear it unedited, and what's added are curse word or the N word specifically, not even just curse words.
Right.
And I'm just like, not as good.
Yeah.
Not as
no,
good.
I believe
it actually flowed really well
without
edited
it.
Way.
Yeah.
Like the oh my god, what was it called? Oh man, I can't remember the name of the song. What's funny is I could start singing it, but
sure,
I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
It was a T.I. song. It was right after he got out of prison. Really good song. And I was like, oh, he put out a whole song with no N words, no curses.
But then you heard
it flowed
perfectly.
It did not feel like a song that was written with curses and then edited.
Yeah.
It felt like a really well put together song, and which ironically, I also thought the same thing about his verses in his chorus specifically on "No Mediocre," because he says, because he says bitches
Right.
in the album version, and he says women in the video version.
Right.
And I was like, actually, I don't like it. It sounds better with women.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like
No.
it,
Yeah.
it-
It's.
I think it's one of those things that there is also part of it, especially in rap music, where a big part of it is that it's just that's how you write, that's
Right.
how you express.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I get that, but
I think it's also something
But
that people
you-
fall back on.
if
'cause
that's
it's
how
like
you,
easy.
here's the thing. If that right, there is that too, right?
It's easy. It's an easy thing to put in there to get a little clout.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? There are some that's how they write, and then there are some that it's easy for, right? Like you said, to get that, get somebody's fucking notice or whatever. But that's on both of those types of people, right? If that's how you write, but you expect better from others, well, maybe you should figure out how you're writing. The standards, you hold standards for somebody else, you better be held to those standards. You can't hold standards for somebody else, but then you don't follow them.
Right? There is that.
That's hypocrite 100%. That's like, I hold you to a certain set of standards, but you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself. Let's go. Like,
Right.
no, that's literally a hypocrite. 100%. That is the definition. And then those people who are sitting there trying to just, be so over the top to just grab attention, you chose that. If somebody repeats it, well, that's on you. People are idiots. People are awful.
Yeah, man.
And people are
can't-
definitely
like I
not.
said,
And people are definitely. I mean, they're creative in other ways, but they're definitely not creative and figure out how to filter themselves while repeating lyrics.
like
So-
I said, for me, I have personally turned it into like a whole challenge.
Sure, yeah, and
I
that,
think
but
I think it's interesting to try
once
to
again-
figure out which words would work and how to put the cadence on the words.
yeah, 100%.
But like there are certain songs that it's really fucking hard. Like there is a DMX song that's literally called "My N Words."
yeah.
Like, That's a whole ass
Yeah.
song of a
Yeah.
lot of that word. And
So
it's,
to me, it's like it just goes back to all this, everything that people have done throughout history so far that just proves they're dumber and dumber, and we are devolving. Like I got mad realizing that we're devolving as a species. I just have to accept it. It sucks because now I have to
I think
watch.
we're
Now I have to
devolving-
watch.
We're devolving up here because we're allowing a lot of things to be done by others
Yeah.
and by
Yeah.
computers.
Yeah.
And I think
We're not
that's-
using our heads.
Yeah.
We choose not to use our heads.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
choose.
this whole fucking weekend when I went to fucking Colorado, while I was in Colorado, on the way back, the whole last week, all I've been thinking about is the fact that I would try to say a word, and I'm like, fucking, where is it? Like, it's in here somewhere, and I cannot find this word that I'm trying to say. And it happened probably
happens,
10 fucking
it
times
happens
over
a
the
lot
course
to
of
me.
a week.
Yeah, dude, it happens
I hate
constantly.
that shit.
Oh, me
I hate
too.
that
I
shit.
hate it too. It happens constantly.
And it's not like complex words. I'm not looking for fucking onomatopoeia.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for
Yeah, I
complex
can't even
fucking
say that
words.
word.
I'm looking for just like what I feel like are basic, like high school
Listen,
level words.
listen, man. I say words all the time, and you laugh at me because I said them wrong or I said the wrong word or whatever.
I just think it's entertaining. Erica
I get to make
Erica
that.
called me out on that
I
shit
get,
too.
I get to make those mistakes though. This wasn't my first language.
Erica calls me out on that
Even
shit
though
too,
this is
'cause
my
I
main
said-
language now. It's not my first.
I asked Rachel why she said something like a certain way. I forget what the word was. And I was just like, why do you say it that way? Because I think it's interesting how people pronounce words. Erica was like, why are you a fucking asshole? I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I was like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like, I think it's interesting how people pronounce words and why they pronounce
Right.
them that way.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like, oh, you're saying it wrong, or like, unless it's something where it's like, what's something that people like? I don't even know. Like, I don't even know the fucking word that people like often say wrong. The one I can think of is because I watch, oh my god, Uncle Roger. Do you ever watch the Uncle Roger? He's the Chinese kid who pretends to be like his elderly uncle who's like judging Chinese cooking and
No.
Asian cooking.
Wow.
It's fucking hilarious, dude. I think you'd love it.
Wow.
But he watched this British chef. She made fried rice, and that's like his number one thing that he like judges people on. And she said microwave, and he's like microwave. That's how he says it now because he thinks she's hot,
Oh.
and that's the whole gag.
Huh.
But I was like, I was like, if someone said microwave to me, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're doing that on purpose.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, if someone said that, I'd be like, no, that's not at all.
Yeah.
You're doing that on purpose,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, no,
because like when you said yolk, and I can't even replicate how you used to say yolk, but when you said yolk the first time that I heard it, I was like, the fuck did you say? Because to me, I was like, you skipped a whole ass letter. And I was like, I don't think you, because it didn't, like, you said like oak. And I was like, why would you say it that way? Because to me, I was like, what are you talking about? And then I realized we were talking
I'm
about
trying to
eggs.
remember how I said it.
And like I said, I can't replicate it. All I know is when you said it the one time, I was like, holy shit. I was like, what?
Yeah.
How would you even learn to say it that way? So it was one of those things that I was just like fucking flabbergasted by. I wasn't like fucking making fun of you. Like, I was just like,
It's confusion
why?
in the brain.
But like,
You think you heard it some way, and
yeah.
that's all it is. Happens a lot to me.
Is it thought? Is thought another one that you say? I always say it's like
Thought?
I say
Thought? I can't fucking say it.
taught. You
Taught?
say taught when you say taught. You say sometimes you'll say thought.
Taught? Whatever.
But it's just like that's the kind of shit. Like we didn't have those fucking letters where we came from. We did not have those.
I proved to you and everybody in Colorado why this language is stupid, and I'll leave it at that. That was the whole point of you saying those words out loud to say the last one out loud. It doesn't make sense. If you look at the writing, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, dude. I was.
That's why when you said to me, because the reason I thought about it was after I left from you, after I said played, you were like plaid. I was like, what? That's not plaid. Like I was thinking plaid was written without an I because it should be.
Because we were talking about the Tesla.
Yeah, because I was like the Tesla played, and you were like plaid, and I'm like, well, no, because aid is said aid, raid is said raid, laid is said laid, paid is said paid, but plaid is said plaid, even though that's fucking every other letter is still in there. That's how stupid this language is. Thank you, people. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to Tangents Podcast, teaching you how English is the dumbest language.
You're not. Yeah, but it's not just English. I was saying the same shit for the longest time, but then I was listening to the Balkan fucking music, and I was realizing I was like, we have a lot more fucking words like that. Than I
sir, we are Balkan, and Balkans are stupid. So
you speak for yourself, sir.
No, Balkans are
like I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was talking to Erica, and I said Stvarno, and then I realized you could change the inflection on that word, and it could mean up to 4 different fucking things.
I wouldn't know.
Because Stvarno means like really.
Really, right.
But if you said like Stvarno, that's a whole like you're putting a whole different fucking like. You're challenging, you're challenging someone's, like you're challenging the truth.
Right.
Like if someone said that, like.
I mean, that's the same thing with really. Oh, like, really. Like that is a challenge. You are challenged.
Another one. Fucking damn it! I hate when I try to make these fucking arguments.
I know.
And I forget the words that I was.
No, I know. You've mentioned them to me before, and listen, I'm not saying this is the only stupid.
No,
language.
yeah, it's a lot of languages.
But
here,
it is a stupid language.
It's fucking obscene excess.
I just
letters.
don't know. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know
like
how.
The word Q.
Well, here's
get into a Q.
Yeah, no. Listen.
How many letters is that?
It's too many. Here's the thing. When you take all the other words that I said, and then you take that word, that I should not be there.
Hold on. I really want to. I want to see this list. I want to go back through this list because I thought that was.
Dude, it was like aid, paid,
we were all
laid,
sitting there.
raid.
We were all sitting there. We were like, "What the?
Made.
Where are we going with this?"
And then I gave you the other one that had a P before laid.
Because 2 of us were drunk.
No, I
so
get
we're
it.
all just trying to
I
figure out
get
like,
it.
what the fuck is happening.
And then you have a P
Yeah,
before
so you said
laid.
Aid, made, raid, laid, paid, and then
Plaid.
You wrote plaid, and we didn't even have an opportunity to respond. And you're like, now you're all possibly laughing like on the stupidity of this language. But the stupidity of this language, I hope you have a great rest of the night.
Yeah, because I thought you
And
didn't
we're
reply
like,
because you guys were all laughing because you were drunk and
No,
you
we hadn't
realized
even
what I
looked at
did.
it yet.
Oh.
We were all having a whole other ass discussion too.
Oh.
No, dude.
That's why I said that because I'm like, oh, they're not replying because they're laughing still.
No. We hadn't even done it yet.
Oh.
No, because we were. fucking we were
Because
drinking.
literally towards that's why I did the last two words. I said laid and then paid, but then you put the P before laid, and all of a sudden it's not aid anymore. It's plaid. That
Well,
doesn't
yeah,
make sense.
it's like
That doesn't. It's not.
it's like ought and thought are the same. Bought is the same, but then there's drought.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. I've proven my point. I've proven. You're just proving.
Dough.
Listen, knife.
I still can't. I still like that's a badge of honor. I was fucking what? It was 4th grade, and I'm reading aloud in English, probably for the first fucking time in a classroom that's not English class,
Yeah.
like ESL.
Yeah.
And I'm like, something. I forgot. I have no idea what we were reading. All I know is I said knife, and she said knife, and I was like, no, there's a K. It's
There's
knife.
a K.
There's a K. She's like, it's silent. I was like, so, why is it there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was like, it's there. Why would I not say it? Because then isn't it just knife if you just take the K away? Because it still says knife.
It's so true though. It's so well. That's why when I when people kept saying plaid, and I'm like, but that says blade. I was just like, this is the dumbest thing in the world. The fact
To
that
me,
this
silent letters and excess letters are the most ignorant shit.
it's
like,
dumb. It's dumb. But listen,
like Q is the worst. Q is the worst.
so
word
going
for
back to finish this up, because we always do this. We always end up going
hashtag
an hour. And I said we were going to go into, because I was thinking we were going to go into COVID, because I'm like, well, we're talking about stupid people.
Well, we haven't fucking spoken since the middle of COVID.
Well, that's
so
true.
like,
That's
well,
true.
I mean, no,
Yeah,
we've spoken, just not on
yeah,
podcast.
for sure. So here's my little. If you're still listening, fucking awesome. If you're a WoW player, if you're a Blizzard supporter, and you're like, well, fuck, I don't know what to play if I don't have those games. Here's a few.
Oh,
Here's a few for you.
Okay.
Overwatch, Paladins.
Absolutely Paladins. Dude, can I first tell you, I've been playing Paladins recently. There is this dragon character. He's mad OP.
Yeah, because I
It's
think
kinda
we
like
just
if you
gotta.
wanna play a
If
game
you have
and
Twitch,
not really try
if you have
hard,
Prime, you
play
have
this
Twitch
fucking
Prime.
game.
I think they give you a skin for him.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Uh,
Well, they did. I don't know if
Here's
it's
the
still
thing.
current.
World
like-
of Warcraft. At this point, and I've tried.
I like Terra.
I know you like Terra, but I've tried a lot of MMOs. Final Fantasy 14.
Is it free?
It's not free, but
Terra.
if you're paying for WoW, might as well just then go to Final Fantasy. It's still target-based game, which that's why I have such a like I love Terra, but at the same time I hate it because it's not target-based. It's aiming-based for their.
It's still target based.
No, it's aiming. You have to aim your moves towards the thing you want to hit.
I feel like you haven't played it recently because I absolutely can aim.
Oh well, maybe.
There are targeting options for sure.
Okay, well, regardless, where with
Because I've been facing the wrong way, and I'm like, why didn't I fucking do the thing? Because I was targeting the wrong person.
But regardless, Final Fantasy 14 for sure, because it's got great storytelling, because that's what Square Enix does. Before they started doing the MMO, it was always a single player game that had an amazing story.
Wasn't 11 the first MMO?
That was, and it wasn't that good. I mean, listen, it was good for the time,
So
but
I was at the art school that no longer exists when that came out.
yeah.
It was like all the fucking art kids played Soul Calibur and fucking Final
Yeah,
Fantasy.
yeah,
11.
yeah.
That's what they played.
If you're looking for
That's-
Hearthstone, that's an easy one.
Magic. Oh,
Magic.
can I tell you? I'm kind of getting sick at Magic again.
No, are you?
And I want to go to an actual. I want to open all my fucking decks. I want to build a fucking deck of decks
Yeah.
and just show up and just smash.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
So here's another one. So Heroes of the Storm, you can do a few actually. Smite,
You got
I like
Dota, you got
Smite.
Smite.
League is
League.
great. Dota, 100%. So you got a few options.
Speaking of Dota, or was it League or Dota that had that dope thing with the dragons on the anime on Netflix?
Oh, that's gonna be. Oh, that was Dota. That was
Dota.
Dota. But then Netflix is coming out with a League game,
Yeah.
or League anime that
Show, yeah,
looks
yeah.
fucking great. So you have a
Now they just
few.
gotta
You
come
have
out
a
with Smite one. They'll have the whole.
yeah. So you have a few to replace Hero of the Storm.
And Heroes of the Storm's been gone for a minute too.
Yeah.
Wasn't that shut down after a while?
No. It's still there.
Oh, I thought it.
No,
was
it's
shut
still there. It's just I don't think it has as much attention as they would like. if you're
COD, any number of fucking.
yeah, I was gonna say if you're on the Activision side and you want Call of
I
Duty,
actually-
both
I just
like a
started
battle
playing.
royale, like their what's it called?
What's it called?
I forgot what it's called. Do Apex. Apex is a way better game in my opinion.
Apex is a great battle royale, but if you're looking for the like deathmatch style COD game, oh my
Then do
God.
Battlefield. Do Battlefield.
You got Battlefield, of course,
Yeah.
but if you don't want to go to like the big name players, I just started playing this recently.
Tribes is still around.
Stop it, Tribes. This man with the Tribes. He trying to play to me right here.
No, Tribes is still around though.
Tribes is on like some bootleg ass fucking servers. You gotta find some bootleg ass servers to play Tribes.
No, I'm talking about the newest Tribes, the Ascend, the fucking one.
Yeah, Tribes Ascend. Those are the high-res doesn't exist anymore.
They do because they're behind Smite.
Let me rephrase that. High-res no longer maintains servers for Tribes. Tribes servers are all player-based.
Oh, really?
Which means Tribes has really like gone back to its fucking roots because the original Tribes that I played. Like,
Why did
back
they
in the
just
fucking
cancel
early
it?
2000s?
They just canceled the Tribes?
Yeah, Tribes is done.
Oh, okay.
Tribes is
I
done
mean, here's the
for a
thing:
while.
Counter Strike.
Counter Strike.
You can do Counter-Strike if you
God,
want.
I really can't think of what it's called.
Valorant.
Um,
That's more of a where it's like 5v5, 6v6. But yeah, there's plenty of options. Oh, I guess the other one would be I guess if you like StarCraft. So the equivalent to StarCraft, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's always ages, but that's not as like sci-fi as StarCraft is.
my keys. There it is. The game I was referring to replace COD would be Hired Ops.
Hired Ops.
Hired Ops is a indie player. The only reason I fucking came across it was they just launched in like the last 3 months.
Right.
But it's like the hardcore.
Right.
Like if you want to play hardcore COD.
Yeah.
Like real like
Yeah.
like war sim.
Right.
That's the fucking game.
Yeah, I got you.
Like there's no fucking. You gotta get shot 14 times.
Right,
Like,
right.
You get dropped.
Right. So overall, there's many options you can go to. I mean, listen, for MMOs, you got. I mean, I said Final Fantasy 14 because going from WoW, I've tried a lot of them. I've even tried a little bit of Guild Wars. I've tried Aeon. I've tried Terra. I've
I
tried.
can't believe Ion is still.
Ion is still
live.
Ion. Aeon. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, it's still on.
I don't know which is which, that's
yeah,
honestly.
yeah. So I've tried them all, and the best one that communicates with me from going from WoW is Final Fantasy. It's the best.
I feel
it's
the,
the best
same way
way.
for Terra personally. It has the same kind of world. It has the same kind of aesthetic. I
Right.
feel, and it has the same kind of like world upkeep. So
Right.
like the holiday events and things like that. Like the same kind of shit that was happening in WoW was happening in Terra.
Right.
At which, like, at a certain point, I was like, oh, I mean, that's cool. Like, you can get, like,
Yeah.
skins and all this, other,
Yeah.
like, all the shit, like, cosmetic
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
All the same kind of shit that you can do in WoW. Like, oh, you can just do all this in Terra.
Right.
It's similar. It's got, like, weird creature
Yeah.
classes and shit like that. And
The only thing in
genuinely
Terra,
like their fucking warlock druid, whatever the fuck I am.
right.
The caster.
Yeah,
I like the caster.
I will
It's
say
really,
this
really
for
good.
Terra, the only thing I couldn't wrap my mind around is their dungeon process. Like there are single
way
player
different now.
dungeons. Oh, is it way different?
It's way different now. I forget. I remember trying to do dungeons way back when. Now you can solo dungeons. They have just like an option to solo.
Yeah. I remember soloing some dungeons that I went into, and I literally did them on my own. So
Yeah. It's an option now. Like
okay.
you can group up and do the fucking
Oh,
full
I
ass
see.
dungeon, or you can choose to solo the
Right,
dungeon
right.
and then it basically just like modifies.
So where with Final Fantasy, like they have the same thing. They have a dungeon finder, and it's funny because some of the dungeons that you do for the 4-man group, you can also then do as a raid as an 8-man group. So it's they do.
They have raids too.
Yeah,
They
so
have raids too now.
so it's a great. I think for anybody who's coming from WoW, it's a great transition over to another MMO.
Are there flying mounts?
There are, yeah.
shit.
Yeah. I'm
What are you
getting.
riding around on a chocobo?
That is the first mount you will get.
Of
yes,
course.
yes. So that will be the first mount you get for even your ground mount, and then you
I
can.
got some sort of fucking dragon like energy dragon thing. I don't even know what the fuck it is.
On Terra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
But yeah. So I think you have plenty of options to switch over. Listen, is it hard to switch over from something you love to something you? Yeah, absolutely it is. Am I telling
I
you
also
to
think
never
it
go
depends on
back?
what.
No, I'm not telling you to never go back, but I'm telling you that what's happening to Blizzard right now, there's going to be two things, right? One, anybody that's still there that's from the era of all these issues happening, the only reason they're doing something about it is because they're being sued, not because they want to. Because if
Yeah,
they wanted to, they would have done it a long time
Yeah,
ago.
so
You got to
needed to be prompted.
so for you, this is how I feel, but I think this should be a universal feeling. If you want to support this company and hope for the best for them and hope that they change and hope that they put more effort into doing these games justice and stuff like that, then the real change needs to happen in the higher level. Everybody that was there during the issue needs to be gone, and it needs to be whole new man. That's why, to me, I don't think there will ever be good change, and I think, and I always said this because everybody's like, "Oh, this new MMO is gonna kill WoW." No, I always said Blizzard is gonna kill themselves, and they are right now. And honest to
Yeah.
God, I do not know how you come back as a company to have the support that you had at some point.
I'll tell you right now, it's going to be Overwatch 2.
I mean, even if it is Overwatch 2, I'm not getting it.
Absolutely not. I mean, my account doesn't exist, so I'd be buying a full new version.
Yeah.
So at this point, I really even eliminated the option
To
of
go
like, the
back.
cheap upgrade.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to be convinced to get back on the Blizzard.
Yeah. Like you
And
have
that's
to.
going to take a lot for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we got plenty of things to play. Like, I
Yeah,
really,
I've
I
got
really,
1,000
I
games
really
on
want.
Steam
Oh
now.
yeah, dude. I mean, I got single player
that.
games that I gotta just in general go through and beat.
I started playing Horizon. Did you get the Horizon one? Oh, you don't have
No.
PS Plus.
No, yeah.
But like, it's like $20 when it's on sale. Like, it's not that big.
Well, it's on Steam now too.
Yeah.
I'll play on PC.
I started it on.
Yeah,
PlayStation.
yeah, yeah.
It's actually because of the kind of game it is.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at the controller.
Yeah, it's not a controller thing. It's just if I do it on PC, I'll know I'll stream and it's easier to stream when you're just doing it directly
I
from.
want to try the PC streaming thing that they were doing because I know that's a thing. You could play your.
I did it once. It's the best they'll give you is 720, and since it's running over your network, then not
Your
only
stream is.
yeah, then you're messing with your stream because first you're streaming to your computer, but then you got to stream to Twitch or whatever you're streaming to.
Right.
So you're double
Yeah.
streaming. So that's the reason I didn't want to do it. I have an Elgato, but if I can just get the game, like I don't have it already, so if I can just get it on Steam, it just saves me a lot of trouble.
I am probably 3/4 of the way through. I think I'm 3/4 of the way through Darksiders 3.
Yeah, I got
It's been the hardest one to play. It's been the hardest
I
one to
bet.
play because I hate the fact that they changed the dash animation.
Yeah.
In 1 and 2, it was dash roll.
Right.
Hers is like dash and then like burst dash.
Right.
She's got heels, so they
Right,
don't
right,
want her,
yeah.
jumping around and shit.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of that. Yeah, just some of the things that because they gave her these big ass monster fucking heels, and the outfit that they gave her, they just don't have her doing the same maneuvers as
Sure.
as the guys. Although some of the fucking shit is really cool. Like there are some just like by the way, I've played 3/4 of this game without ever upgrading because I fucking didn't even think about the fact that I had access to the serpent holes so that I could go back to the fucking dude who would upgrade my shit.
Yeah.
So I just fucking went back and upgraded, and now I'm back and I'm like, oh, I'm just smashing through these dudes. Like I could have totally been doing this way easier
Yep.
this whole time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was like upgrading, and it was like you have 17 more upgrades left. I was like upgrade.
Yeah. That's you got to remember that you can do that in that game.
Because I thought because in all the other ones you fucking get armor. You
Yeah,
pick
yeah,
up
yeah.
armor. In this, you have to go back to this dude. He's got to fucking do this whole thing and upgrade your shit. And I was like, oh, dude, like I could have been.
This could have been way easier. But yeah. So in my opinion, here's the thing. Would I hope that I could go back to Blizzard knowing everything that's happened, and let's say they do start changing things, and they do make WoW better again, and but knowing that still the people behind all the issues are still there, all that tells me is that the same issues that we have. Maybe not the sexual harassment, but where the games went to shit is probably going to happen again. Because
It,
uh,
it
if anything, humans will do is repeat their own issues.
Yeah, I mean, but I also think that a big factor of it is because WoW is essentially it's an endless thing. I mean, like they're feeding you content bombs. They're not feeding you like there's not really a ton of story per expansion.
Well, the problem is content too, though. I mean, so the expansion came out November last year, something like that, and the first major patch for new content just came out 3-4 weeks ago. So it's been half a year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's the
So
pandemic. It's the things are different.
well,
I
it's
can
not. It's
understand
not
it
that.
taking
But
longer.
that's the problem.
Because they're not rendering at home, you know. So like,
Well,
gotta
but
send
the
it out
problem
to
is
fucking-
that. But that's the issue. It's even before the pandemic, even with the last expansion, same thing happened. So this seems to be an ongoing trend with them.
But I remember when we when we were both playing Warlords, and when we were playing Warlords, it was we both got to the end, and we were like late. Like we didn't fucking speed through the expansion, and they had just gotten around to dropping raids, and I was like the end game content did not exist until basically we were at the end game. And I was kind of like, that's a long ass time. I do not I'm not a fucking blaze through guy.
Right.
Because I remember because that was what 80.
I don't remember.
I think it was like the 80s.
Yeah,
I think it was like level 80 to 90 or something like that.
Might have been.
Or 90 to 100.
No, it was.
No, it was 100 to 110.
Yeah.
100 to 110.
Yeah.
I remember we were like 105, and there were people who were done. Like they had reached the end of the content, and they had no fucking raids because they didn't have it done.
Well, I mean, they had. No, you're remembering wrong because they had at least. I think they had 4 different raids for that expansion. So
Yeah.
the first one came out a month after the expansion dropped.
Yeah, but people were done before then.
What do you mean done?
They were done.
Like
There was one dude who did the whole he fully leveled, finished all the shit in like 6 days.
well, yeah, people level all the time, but then you have to
Wait.
well, not just wait. You also have to do heroic. I don't know if they had mythic back then to get your gear from that, so you're ready to do the raid when it drops.
I just remember like seeing that a lot of
But they always do that.
Yeah.
They always wait
yeah,
a
but I mean,
month
some
before.
people like fucking Bungie before they fucking separated from EA.
Right.
Well, before they separated from Activision, rather.
Right.
That was fucking Destiny 2. They launched Destiny 2 without any in-game content. It wasn't even in the fucking game files.
Yeah.
It just
No,
didn't
it's
exist.
here's the thing. As much as I love blaming Activision because they are a source of a problem. But
Absolutely, they're a source of the problem because when the Destiny team came out, when Bungie came out, they were like, we are making a 10-year
guarantee, like
guaranteed 10 years of
content for the first one. That didn't
There
mean
was
Destiny
not even
2.
talk of a second one.
Yeah, that wasn't Destiny
When
2.
they
When they
launched-
said 10
when they
years of
launched
content, they
Destiny-
meant Destiny 1 with constant expansions, like
When they
constant, like
launched
it wasn't Destiny 2.
I said this could be the FPS. Wow,
It could have been.
this could be it. I was like, it looks good. This could be
Yeah.
still looking good in another 10
And
years.
then they grouped up with Activision, and then Activision was like release number 2.
Yeah, because Activision, they had a fucking like 5-game deal with them. There were going to be 2 more main games, and there were going to be like fucking mobile games.
Yeah,
and
it was
shit. They were
ridiculous.
gonna,
Yeah.
all this other shit, and I was like, that's going to dilute this whole fucking thing.
Yeah, everything
And
that
then
you wanted to do.
What did 2 turn out to be? Just a fucking expansion,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Like it
That's all
wasn't
it was.
anything new.
It was probably what they were going to release.
Yeah, it's probably
Originally
the
as
5th
an
fucking
expansion, yeah.
It was the 5th expansion. They were like, just call it 2. Like, this is so ignorant. I mean, it's literally like basically what Destiny 2 was basically like what Warlords of Draenor was.
Right.
Warlords of Draenor takes place in a completely different place than the rest of fucking World of Warcraft.
Right.
But like, it's still just an expansion. And yeah, In Destiny 2, the fucking the city gets fucked up, the tower falls, you're on the ground, you're in these like refugee camp or whatever. It's a different scenario.
But still,
But everything else is the same.
yeah,
The
no,
gameplay's the
yeah,
same. Like
no,
the
it's just it
missions are
was
the
just an
same,
expansion to the
scouting,
game.
all this shit
Yeah,
is the same.
yeah, it was just an expansion to the game.
It was like
But yeah,
new
man.
skins, new
So
fucking guns. That's all it was.
that's my piece on Blizzard and all these idiots that are saying, "Oh, I'm holding my thoughts until the court." There's no court. Like they're sued. These are legit. This is what they need to change, or they're fucked.
The only thing what I think
There's no
what I think is
there's no
happening
court
in
that's going to be
court
like.
is that they're just figuring out how much money to award these women.
Yeah. That's all that's happening
That's
in court.
all
Yeah,
they're
no,
gonna
there's
be
no,
figuring out.
there's
how
no.
many millions of dollars are they?
Yeah,
gonna
they're
give
not
these
going to
women?
go to court to say, "Oh, you're not guilty" or "You're guilty." No, that's not. You're confused. That's
Yeah,
not
this,
what.
This is not. This is not.
This is not like you
well,
got to
I
find
think
me
it
guilty.
should be a criminal trial.
It should be.
I
It is
think this is
criminal.
going to be a civil trial.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how California works. California's really strict on a lot of shit.
Well, they are. They're very strict about, especially how you treat your employees. So, and what you offer for.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
this could
super
be
strict.
this could be a discrimination suit.
This is 100%, I believe, a discrimination suit. I believe that's what it is. So it's not necessarily like.
Because my mother-in-law was discriminated against at a DMV because she has a service dog. They wouldn't let her enter,
Right.
which is against the law. You
It's
can't
against- yeah,
prevent her to
yeah,
enter.
yeah,
It's against like several laws.
yeah.
And it's taken her almost a fucking year to find a lawyer who would take the case because everyone else is looking for workplace discrimination.
Right.
Every other lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Because I looked for her. I was
Yeah.
like, maybe she's not searching right. I'm googling shit. Every single fucking lawyer in California wants to do workplace discrimination.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just told us today she finally found a lawyer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, this seems like a fucking slam dunk,
Yeah.
easy W. Like this
It
could
is
be the
a
first
easy-
guy. This is gonna be like some new guy at the firm. Send him out. This is a slam dunk. They are holding you up to the basket. All you gotta do is drop
no,
it.
it is a slam dunk. But yeah, so I mean, no, there's nothing. You have already been found guilty because your employees said, like, via internet, to everybody, to the world, via Twitter, all the social medias, they have said, you do this. So there's nothing. You are already guilty. There's nothing to find you guilty about.
If it's a criminal trial, they're gonna hold possibly the board or the CEO culpable.
Yeah.
And whoever, I mean, most likely the CEO. The CEO is probably going to get fired.
Right.
The board is going to be like,
Yeah.
we're going to fucking fix the fucking problem, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just don't know how they're going to move forward and save face at this point. To me,
Because they're
deep
still
in the
once
fucking
again,
gutter.
going back to stupid people. There are still stupid people that even knowing all this information, they didn't do anything wrong.
Yep. They didn't do
They're
anything
not
wrong.
guilty. They're not guilty.
They didn't do it. It was these people. It wasn't the company.
Yeah, no, yeah. Not cancel culture. They gotten rid of the guy that was responsible.
Yeah. It was that guy's fault.
Yeah.
No, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and I'm not even the one being sexually harassed.
Right. I'm
and
not
all this
even in
other
the,
shit.
I'm not even in that company, like
not.
nothing. But here's the thing, like at the end of the day, the reason it's twofold, right? One, because we have respect for human beings, men or women. So it's frustrating because of that. But two, it's also because we were dedicated to this company. We gave a lot of money to this company. Dude, we bought collector's edition of Overwatch.
Yeah, we did.
So that's why it's frustrating.
Gonna be selling that statue.
Dude, I won't lie to you, man. Like I think about how much money I've spent. Like I bought almost every collector's. No, I did buy.
I saw
outside
my
of
transaction history for WoW.
outside
I
of
bought
vanilla, I bought every collector's edition. BC was a collector's edition. All of them.
Wow.
The last two.
And you bought a couple versions of each.
Oh, back then, yeah. Back
I
then.
remember
For
the
myself.
first-
Yeah.
The first time I came when you were living out west, the first time I came over to your place, and we went down to the basement, and you showed me literally there was a shelf of just WoW boxes.
Yeah, if you watch some of my videos that I did, like on Full Throttle Auto and stuff, in the background you can see the collector edition, freaking.
That's right. You still have all those.
I still have them. Yeah.
You still
put
have
them on
all those
display.
shits. I have. What do I have?
I gave
It's
you.
fun. It's funny that you mentioned
Well, I
tribes.
gave you
I got the
Warlord.
last tribes right there. I got
Oh yeah,
tribes.
yeah,
Was it Vengeance?
Vengeance, yeah. But
Second one. I don't even know if that'll work.
but yeah, so that's why it's upsetting because one, we have more respect for humans, but two, we spend so much money and dedication to this company who we thought was badass,
Yeah.
and then we find out
Well, I mean, that's what
they're
we're
actually
getting.
not
That's what we're
badass.
getting with DC. That's what not quite the same situation,
Not
but
the same,
but
but
similar enough.
actually very similar.
Similar
Yeah,
enough.
very similar. I mean, they showed discrimination towards a black man. They showed discrimination against a woman. They backed a fucking white asshole. I mean, shit. Even it's so bad that another white person, Ben Affleck, hated working. He
Dude,
quit being
it's
bad because if you watch his GQ, I told you this, but I don't know if anybody that's watching this saw it. But he did a GQ interview, and they asked to go over his roles, all his different roles, and he literally says in the interview, he talks about Batman, and he says, "Yeah, I'm no longer doing it. I just wasn't happy with the process of being that character." And now, after you read up of everything that happened, well, the reason he wasn't happy was
right.
because Joss
Was that
Whedon
before
ruined.
he did the Snyder cut?
Yeah, yeah. The GQ was before. This is while still everything was very fresh with Whedon and everything. Yeah,
That's the thing,
and
man.
that's why he quit. And now, after
don't-
working with Snyder again and knowing Whedon is no longer there,
Here's
he's
my
willing to
thing.
come back. How about
do you
that?
think we're gonna pull this up? We're gonna pull this up. This will be our last topic here. We're gonna go super nerdy at the end here with
Because it's funny. Like
With
he like you said.
Flash movie Batfleck. People are saying that this image is of really guys, really okay. Flash movie Batman. There's a photo. Oh God, I'm gonna have to Google. I'm gonna have to
Are
actually
you on
go
Bing?
to Google.
Yeah, you're gonna have to Google. Damn it.
Flash movie Batman. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Let's see how easy it was. No? Still no? Batman. Do I gotta put in Batman motorcycle? Motorcycle. There we go. People are saying these are some of the wide shots, and this is the closest shot that we got. If you are listening, you will need to go to the Tangents video. I think it's funny because when you see it, obviously that's going to be the CG front wheel.
Yeah.
But they're saying that this is Batman. This is Ben Affleck Batman. My problem is I don't actually think it is. I think this looks very much like a armored Batman suit that an elderly Michael Keaton would wear.
It's very similar to what we saw, like on
The short ears,
under the armor.
Uh-huh.
Everything looks similar to what we've seen for Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah.
But I mean, this could very much be a Keaton thing, or
But of course, DC to go to our point, our persistent point of DC doesn't fucking tell anyone anything.
DC doesn't care. DC has proven that they don't care.
They have not made any announcements.
Yeah, absolutely
so we
not.
don't know if he's actually in it.
Yeah, absolutely not.
We do know that Michael Keaton's in it. We don't know if Bruce Wayne Michael Keaton is in it.
Right.
But we do know Michael Keaton's in it because he's been on the set
Right.
with both Barry Allen
Yeah.
and the new Supergirl.
Yeah.
Also, how do you feel about the new Batgirl, who is supposedly related to the Gordon from the Snyderverse, if you will, who is white? Now, granted, his wife could be black because Batgirl is black. And then the new Clark Kent Superman being black. How do you feel about that?
Well, okay, so there's a few things that, I mean, shit, you just opened up a whole nother fucking podcast. All right. So there's a few things.
Just a quick one.
There's a few things I'm hearing. One.
Is that it? There you go. Okay, that's a much better fucking photo.
I mean, like, I know that's not
that
an
chest
actor,
emblem,
but
right, that's a
but I
stunt
feel
guy.
like that could be Affleck. Like, I feel like
The chest emblem does feel
Yeah.
similar. Yeah.
and that could be Affleck. Here's the thing. Few things. One, there is a black Superman that's happening. Supposedly, rumors are saying that. What's his name? God damn it. What's his name? The actor, Creed. Michael B. Jordan wants to do as a series.
That's separate.
That's separate. I know that's a different universe.
And I'm down for that.
That's a different universe,
I'm
but he
so
wants
down
to.
for that.
I
He
got.
wants to do Val-Zod.
Yes, he wants to do the actual Black Superman.
Well, one of them, but yeah.
Right. But
I'm
I'm saying,
so
but I'm
down
saying
for
the
that.
one that was actually written as a black Superman.
Because the thing for me is,
And I
if they
respect
do
him for
as
that.
Val-Zod, that could be.
I understand, but
leading
here's
to
hold on.
Earth 2.
Hold on. Here's what I gotta say. I respect him for that. Why? Because I agree with some of his statements. Is that one? Why change a character that's already been done so many times, right? Why not make a character that's already there and could potentially somehow be brought in, right? Because you got the multiverse and everything. You could do that. You know, you could have them interact.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
For sure.
So I respect him for that. From what I understand, the black Superman, there's two rumors going around. One, he's replacing Henry Cavill. Or two, it's a different universe.
Which is fine.
Listen, you tell me different universe,
Which to me,
I'm
that's,
fine.
that's exactly what.
I'm fine.
That's
But
what we've been asking for.
That's
we
what we
wanted Calvin Ellis.
Yeah. We've been.
But if he's Clark Kent, sure. There's another Earth where Clark
not
Kent is black.
right. That so supposedly those are the two. Here's the thing: if he's replacing Henry Cavill in this universe current that we've developed, bad move. Bad move. Period. I don't care. We can argue about it. You can call me racist or whatever you want. It's a stupid move. It's a dumb move. You cannot. I don't care how you explain it. You cannot explain not only a different face, but now we're talking different like
Everything.
Everything's changed about this character. That's just sorry.
His whole life has changed.
Yeah, absolutely his whole life.
And
has
here's
changed.
the thing: there was a guy on TikTok who made a point.
It's already bad enough that he was an alien. Now he's black in a world that's supposed to be
can I
representing how modern human beings in this world would react. Because that was the whole point of when Snyder released Man of Steel. He always said, "I am making a Superman where he has to deal with decisions based off what we would do if there was a Superman,
Right.
a real world Superman." So now, if we're going off of that, you're right. His whole world would be different. Not
His whole
only,
world would be
not
different.
only. Let's say it is still Pa Kent, right? I always forget his first name. Why do I forget his first name? Jonathan Kent. Not only will Jonathan Kent say, hide your powers because they would.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more.
He would also be
There's
saying.
just
He would
so
also
much
be
more
saying.
to it in every aspect.
We need to hide everything about you because not only are you an alien, but you're black. Because that's the reality, right? That's
is
the reality.
It's the sad reality, but that's the reality.
So,
and that's
so,
why I don't
so
know
here's the
if it's
thing:
gonna be
if
a
they're
replacement.
right, so I don't think it's a replacement. I think it's a separate universe that they're starting, which is fine because from everything that's been said so far, these are the firmest confirmation without having confirmation. The Batman that I don't give a shit for. I might watch it when it's free on stream, but I won't go watch it in theater and I won't rent it. Robin playing Batman, at best, whatever his name is, I'm already forgetting his name. I don't care, but supposedly that's a different universe. He's not replacing Ben Affleck. That's just a different universe Batman.
I really wish they would just give a
Dude, there's
I don't
nothing.
know-
There's
I don't
nothing.
know
There's
why
nothing
they
wrong
don't
to
wanna be-
communicate with your audience.
I don't know why
I
they
think
don't
the
wanna be
reason
like
they're
Marvel.
not communicating is because they don't know.
They don't know, and I also think it's a very, very much a situation of that they don't have leadership.
Yeah, they don't have leadership.
I mean,
they
just
don't.
during all this, AT&T was like, "Oh, well, now we're going to just smash Discovery and
Right,
Warner
right.
Brothers together.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's Discovery Warner."
Yeah.
Who the fuck is in charge?
They don't
no
know.
One. At
No,
this
they
point,
don't
it's
know.
No one.
No,
They're
no,
just-
they don't
there's
know.
like 10 fucking floating projects, and somebody puts the pieces together, and they're like, "Cool, make a Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
Cool, make a new Shazam.
Yeah.
Cool, make a new Wonder Woman." And none of it has to make sense. And with Flashpoint, I guarantee there's just going to be like, he's going to be like running through the fucking multiverse.
And you're gonna see everything.
And you're going to see
Everything.
every version of everything.
Yeah, everything.
And to me, that's fine.
That's fine. I mean,
But
here's the
tell
thing.
me.
Right. Here's the thing. That's fine. But the problem is
No one's confused. Like everyone can Google Flashpoint.
no,
We
yeah,
know it's Flashpoint.
yeah.
We
Listen,
know there's time
listen,
travel involved. Like,
listen. Nobody's confused that kind of understands comics. Anybody that's just like, oh, comic book movie, it's
I
Batman.
call bullshit. Anybody that watched that fucking show, This Is Us, fucking will understand this fully.
Yeah, you think so. But here's the thing. To me, until they start being an actual company and confirming some shit.
I don't even need details.
No. I don't need
Just like,
details. I don't need
hey,
details. But
this
it's
will be
listen.
Earth 2 Superman.
I don't need details.
Earth 4
Listen, I
Superman.
don't. Right, I don't need details. I just need you to confirm. Yes, Ben Affleck is no longer Batman by our company. We are, but he is. Oh,
gonna be in
Henry Cavill is no longer so. Yes, he is being replaced because we said so. That's all I need to know. I need you to confirm it, but you're not doing anything.
Here's my question.
So that's why.
Here's my question to you on that level. If they were to say, hey, we're replacing Henry Cavill as Superman, we're going to bring in, I don't know, a different actor. He's not going to be white. We're changing the entire Superman story in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a story. It's good. It's blah blah blah. Would you watch it?
No,
Why?
because they already started a story they haven't finished.
That's a very good reason. That's a very solid reason.
Simple as that.
There's a whole
Simple as that.
lot
When you
to that.
gave me Darkseid, and you have already said this is
But did they give us Darkseid though?
yeah,
There
absolutely.
was no Darkseid in the theatrical version.
Yeah, there was. He was there at the end.
Where?
Pull up HBO Max and pull up the fucking theatrical version. I promise you, when you go at the end, you'll see Darkseid's face.
What are you talking about?
You just don't remember it.
You're crazy, sir.
No,
You're
sir.
Crazy.
No, sir.
The theatrical cut does not actually have Darkseid.
Sure does.
You're crazy.
Sure does.
You're crazy. Justice League. It's this one. It's the bright one. We're gonna mute to this tab because I don't want to get.
Oh yeah,
sued
yeah.
to
We
death.
don't need a crazy lawsuit. We're just showing the video, no audio.
No, I'm not even showing that. All right, hold on. So we're just. Oh fuck it, I'll turn it on.
Oh right.
It's very little. So
Right,
let's
because
see
they
what we-
do this.
Okay, so they win. Yeah, they're fighting. They're fighting to do. They win. He buys the farm back. He was thicker here because in the Snyder cut when
He's thinner. Yeah.
he's way thinner.
Yeah.
Way thinner. So this is Barry being like, "Yo, I got my shit. I'm gonna be CSI." And here's Cyborg, and this is where Cyborg like gets all his cool shit, and then they're like, "Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fucking put on this fucking super gangster shit." There's Lois. It's just kind of like touching on where everybody is. I don't recall there being a Darkseid. No, the only thing they
Oh,
showed,
they did tease that. Yeah. That's. I don't even want to talk about how
they
pissed I am
teased the
about that.
Injustice League.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk how pissed off I am about
They're
that.
like, Luthor,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go,
yeah.
and it's not Luthor.
I remember seeing Darkseid somewhere, and I haven't. It's not from the new remake because I never watched the remake, or not remake, but
No
the
shit.
Snyder. No, I never watched it.
I think you should.
But I'm not gonna. Why would I watch something that is irrelevant?
Darkseid.
I remember seeing Darkseid somewhere.
Justice League theatrical. Justice League Snyder's 5 more villains. 5 more villains than the.
Because I remember seeing that face. Like I remember that. I don't remember where it was from, but it was in one of the movies. Regardless, listen,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think I know exactly what
listen.
you're talking about.
Regardless, at the end of the day, I did see him in the movies. They do mention him. They
He's mentioned, yes.
so at the end of the day, you are not finishing a story you gave me. And also, not even thank God, dude. See, now you made me even more mad because I forgot about that. It took me a long time to erase that out of my memory.
What?
The League of fucking Villains
The Injustice
in
League?
Justice League. It took me a long time to get rid of that out of my head
What's the
because
fucking
I
thing where she
did not
tells them
want
the
to.
story?
Oh yeah, where
It's when she tells
Wonder
him
Woman tells him the story.
she tells him the story of what happened in the past.
But yeah, so I mean, listen,
There it is, there it is, right there.
regardless,
No, that's
regardless, listen.
right here. So before this, no, it wasn't him. That was the thing, because when she tells him the story in the theatrical version, it wasn't Darkseid. In the new one, it's Darkseid. In the theatrical version, it was still,
Right,
what's
whatever.
his fucking face, um, uh, the guy who was in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
movie.
whatever. Listen,
Uh,
I just remember seeing Darkseid's face. He was mentioned, and you have to be a complete and utter
Bro,
moron.
this by itself is so much better in the Snyder cut.
Yeah, because fucking
Absolutely
Whedon
worth it.
just came in to fucking
Absolutely worth
think
it to
he's a
watch.
fucking badass instead of actually. Um, also, that you've also teased a bunch of different
Tease
characters.
Green Lantern. There's a whole thing where they said, um, don't put Black Green Lantern on screen. That
Let's not even talk about that. Because
that was a
John Stewart would be the best option for fucking Green
can we talk
Lantern, you
about that? Can
fucking
we talk about
idiots.
how much that
And don't get me wrong, bring back Ryan Reynolds. I mean, if he's willing to do it, he's already fucked up in his relationship with
Ryan
them.
Reynolds is just too busy marketing everything.
Dude, Ryan Reynolds is a fucking badass, and I respect everything he does. Even the shit talking he's done about Green Lantern because he's disappointed
Yeah.
with that company. He would, I bet you money, as long as they said, you need to listen to me, he would go back.
Dude,
Even though he made fun of it, he would go back.
Dude, this the CW crisis made that movie canon.
Yeah, yeah,
It's one of the other Earths.
yeah. So listen, at the end of the day, yes, you're absolutely right. DC, WB, they're exactly what Blizzard is. They're untrustworthy. They have issues where they back the wrong people. In this case, I mean, Blizzard probably, not probably, they definitely clearly backed
And they
Alex.
absolutely protected him.
Yeah,
This can't
yeah,
happen for as
until
long as it
they
did without.
decided that he parted ways in middle of 2020. So like, yeah, they absolutely knew his problems and they hit him under the rug. And the same thing happened with WB, where they did the same thing with Whedon. Whedon fucking was a fucking disgrace of a director, talked awful to these actors, and they backed him instead of the actors. I 100% would have backed every one of the actors and said, fuck you. You know what? I'll sit on this movie for another year and get a better director that knows how to work with human beings.
Yeah,
That's what I would have done. Or fuck, I would have
But
been like,
that's-
you know what? I'm putting this movie on hold until Zach's willing to come back. I'd do it. But no, we gotta get it out. We gotta get money out. That's the problem.
yeah.
People are too fucking greedy.
Well, that's the
You
thing.
got all the money in the
They
world, but you
shouldn't
want
have
more.
Even gone. I mean, we've talked about this before, but they shouldn't have even gone to Justice League. Justice League was too big of a jump for them.
Dude, it was a
They
huge
sh-
jump. They did what? Man of Steel,
BVS,
BVS,
which was basically Justice League Beta.
kinda.
You got half of them.
You
Half of the
yeah,
Justice
you
League
got
was in it.
three. You got three out of
3
those.
out of 7.
Five
Oh,
or
shit.
6 or 7, how many. Yeah, it was just dumb. It was
Yeah.
a bad choice. No, it was a stupid bad choice. I wouldn't have released it until I released Wonder Woman, until I released Aquaman,
Shazam.
Shazam, because then you could add fucking Shazam in there. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's
Have you seen the new Shazam costumes for the new movie?
Yeah, I mean they look more like his now instead of.
No. They all look different. They took
Well, I
away
know
his
they.
like glowy
I know, right? They
cut
took away.
chest
Yeah.
piece.
They took away the glowy stuff and they made it more like the Superman style stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I'm not. Whatever. I don't care.
Basically.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't.
I still haven't seen Aquaman.
I'm telling you right now. I don't care because I'm not supporting this company anymore. The only reason I have HBO Max is because it comes with my phone service, and that is the only place I will watch these movies once they are free to watch.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, what you're saying is next week you and I are going to be discussing Suicide Squad. Since that's coming
Is it out or is it coming out?
comes out on the 7th or whatever. Comes out Friday.
That comes out
Friday.
Friday. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll watch it because I have it on stream, so I'll watch it. Listen, is it going to be fun? Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, listen, it's James Gunn. James Gunn makes decent movies.
I hope they sign those deals. Everybody, fucking Scarlett's suing Disney because they didn't renegotiate that deal.
Well, now that you brought that up, listen.
It's her money.
Sure, it's her money. Her argument in the lawsuit is stupid, but yeah, you're right. It's
What
her
you
money.
mean?
Well, in the lawsuit, actually, go ahead and pull up Twitter and go to my personal Twitter, please, and I'll tell you exactly what I mean.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, what's the argument? She was supposed to get
No,
money.
no. Don't care about that part.
Okay.
That's not what I'm. If you didn't say this part, then I would give a shit about more about the rest. All right, go there. Okay, my tweets and replies. Oh, right here. So it's I did continued, but it says Scarlett Johansson suing Disney Plus or Disney or whatever Disney Studios for releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus at the same time in theaters as it is in the theaters. Suit says Disney intentionally induced Marvel's breach of their agreement without justification. That's the most important part right there in the whole thing. Without justification, in order to prevent Miss Johansson from realizing the full benefit of her bargain with Marvel. And my response to that is, without justification, in quotations, pretty sure a pandemic is a justification.
Yes, generally speaking, but they did not have to be in breach of contract. They could have renegotiated as they had the opportunity to.
Once again, I'm not arguing. I'm not talking about that. The fact that they started a suit with saying without justification.
It is without justification. If you had an opportunity to renegotiate the contract, that means you still went ahead without renegotiating.
Correct. That is the problem. Right. That is the problem. But it's not without justification. It is 100% with justification.
There's no justification.
A pandemic to get the most. Absolutely. What if people didn't watch it? Because you know how much extra.
Morally speaking, I understand what you're saying, but I'm talking about on a contract level. Her lawyers had contacted them to discuss renegotiation.
I understand that.
Release,
I understand that. I understand that. That's the second half. The first half starts with them saying without justification to release it. No, there is justification to resell it also for additional $30. It's not like HBO. I could understand HBO Max where they give it to you for free.
No, that's not what she's saying. That's not what she's saying. The statements did not say that they released it in theater or released it on streaming without justification. They're saying that they breached the contract without justification.
Well, they breached it because they released.
Right, but it doesn't matter how they breached the contract. They breached the contract without justification.
Well, there is justification.
There is not.
Yes, there is. A pandemic. A pandemic would have lowered their income for that movie. It would have. They would have not made anywhere near. They made an additional, I think.
If they only put it out on streaming and they put it out at $30 a pop.
They didn't know.
I would have put it out at 20, but that's me.
I mean, I still didn't buy it.
Also, that's not.
I still
you're not
didn't,
like renting it.
I still didn't rent it.
It's not a rental. You buy it. You're buying the movie.
You're buying a movie if you continue to have Disney Plus to watch it.
Yeah, but it's 2021. Like I don't see a situation where I'm not going to have Disney Plus.
Well, it doesn't matter. If I chose not to have Disney Plus, then I don't own that movie. So listen, at the end of the day,
I understand it's premium access, but it's basically legal.
But without justification, to me, they're wrong. It is within justification
you're-
because it's a pandemic.
you're-
I'm not. No, if you say the words, this is where I throw shit at you because you're about to say some dumbass shit.
No, it's
that
not
is
even being
stupid.
a dumbass shit.
It is stupid. Whatever you're gonna say is dumb.
You're making an argument based on terminology, not based on what it's saying.
I am basing it off what I'm reading is that they breached a contract without justification.
Right, which they did.
No, to me there is justification to breach that contract.
To you.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about legally,
listen.
there isn't justification.
but so she, right? That movie needs to make a certain amount of money for her to make money, right? Okay. If that movie, because of a pandemic, only made $200 million instead of what it has made due to also being available for $30 on their streaming service,
Right.
then
She doesn't get any of that
she
money.
did. They've already stated that she has gotten money for it making more money on the streaming service. They have said it. Now, is it as much? No. Probably not. And that's a whole different issue. That is an argument. Right. But for them wanting to release it on streaming along with the theater, there is justification for that. It's to make money for both parties because of a pandemic.
I don't disagree with you. I think we're arguing semantics here. I think that it's legally speaking, they breached contract without justification. She did not do anything to justify them breaching contract. Thus, they are in breach of contract because it doesn't matter if I agree.
Right, but she's upset. Hold on, but she's upset. Hold on, she's upset that because they did this, they lowered the performance of this movie in the theater. No, the pandemic. No, the pandemic lowered the performance of this movie in the theater.
If it wasn't available on streaming at home, people would go see it. More people would go see it, and she would get a higher cut.
Great, and so she's
it
the
might
reason.
Not make $1 billion, but it would make more money.
You know what? You're right. You're right. I'm glad she would be rather happier that people went into the theater and potentially risked getting more sick. It is to me. It is to me. I look at it on multiple levels. You want to be a jackass that's worried about making another $20 million on top of your 30? I get it, but listen. But then you're also not considering.
Cut her out because it's her last movie and they don't need her anymore.
But here's the thing. That's fine. That part of the argument, I'm cool with. The fact that they never wanted to accept any communication for her to renegotiate, that's a problem. But to say that there was no reason to do this is wrong.
Again, you're saying that without justification refers to what they did, not to the fact that they breached the contract.
They breached the contract because of what they did. That is the point of the contract.
But that is where law happens in that distinction. Law happens in that exact distinction. Law does not happen.
They wouldn't have. Okay, so
huge
let's fine. Let's go into that little bit. If there was no pandemic, would this have been a thing?
No, because it would have come
Correct.
out in theaters.
Correct. So right there. So that little bit just got justified. Just asking that question. That little bit just got justified. That little where the law would go, it did. Because if the pandemic wasn't there, this wouldn't have happened.
No, because they could have done this a year ago.
We could have done what?
This exact thing that they did. They could have done this a year ago.
What do you mean? We've done what?
Put it out on streaming as well as theaters.
The movie wasn't out.
It was supposed to be out last June. Last May.
Yeah, okay. So they decided that...
They shut down. Actually, let me rephrase that. It was supposed to be out.
Yeah, you're right. So why didn't she get mad at that? Why didn't she get mad? Why didn't she start suing them then?
Because everything was shut down.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's a breach contract.
They just delayed the movie.
It doesn't matter. It's a breach contract. Other places were open.
Bro.
Breach contract.
Bro.
You want to fucking talk semantics? Let's talk semantics. Other locations were open. Release it out of places and we'll come back here. And fuck. Remember? We just had a conversation. We never shut down.
No, well, yeah, they did shut down theaters.
Oh, well, see.
You couldn't have theaters.
Well, there you go. So, yes, the pandemic isn't gone.
So that wasn't them making a choice.
Okay, but still.
That was third-party external force.
Right,
that
because
no one can-
they still because they also wanted both. They also wanted the theater revenue, but they said, okay, listen, and I get it. I mean, from what just seeing what they did, hey, pandemic's still around, and there are definitely enough people that still won't go to the theater to make this money, the money that we need to make.
Exactly. But here's the problem. They renegotiated with other people. They renegotiated with other leads. They did not negotiate with her about this because they don't need her anymore. They're like, if we fuck this relationship up, we don't care.
I
Because
understand.
we
Listen,
don't need
I
her anymore.
understand, and I'm not arguing that part of this fucking contract. I am arguing about her statement that they breached it for no reason.
You're literally arguing semantics.
It's not semantics.
It is.
To state that is incorrect. There was a reason why it was breached.
That is a personal opinion. The contract cannot be breached, cannot be justified. Breaching a contract cannot be justified or not justified on opinion.
It's not an
Justification.
opinion.
It is
It's
an opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's fact. Like for instance,
They
right now.
breached her contract
For instance,
without
it's
justification.
there is justification. One, to make money for both parties. Two, if they didn't do it, they would have made less money. Three, the facts are there because look at any other movie that didn't release right away at the same time on a streaming service. Look at it. Fucking Fast and the Furious didn't make their $1 billion like they did almost last two movies.
Nothing was going to make $1 billion. Nothing.
Snake Eyes is doing horribly because they were like,
I need you to understand.
Snake-
if they had
that's
footage
fine.
of
Listen,
Jesus Christ
Snake
himself,
doesn't matter. Snake Eyes is doing horribly, not because nobody cared for the movie, because
cared
they
for the movie.
no, I cared for the movie, and I probably would have watched it.
That movie would not have made.
It-
That movie made $500 million in the theaters on a non-pandemic year. I would have been surprised.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not even making that.
Of course not. Nothing will make $500 million. If something made,
It's not even making half of that.
of course not.
It's barely making a quarter of that.
I know.
Right. There's a reason for that.
Black Widow only made $37 million
37 million where?
in theaters.
No, it's made more. You're wrong.
No, I'm talking about this last weekend.
Yes, in one weekend. Oh no, I'm sorry, 3 weekends after the main weekend. So yeah,
Let's see.
that's fucking great.
Black Widow box office. 343.
That's-
Damn,
that's
pretty
here.
fucking good for a pandemic year.
Yeah, but you got to understand.
Damn, that's pretty good.
But you got to understand. They also made another like.
and it's still in theaters.
But you got to understand. They also made another 200 million because of streaming. I promise you, they wouldn't have made another
understand- I
200 million
understand that.
going into.
But let me ask
Not
you.
providing
Let me
energy.
ask you a question.
Listen, they fucked up for not accepting her communication to renegotiate. Period. Her statement and her lawyer's statement saying there was no justification, I don't agree with. This is not a matter
don't
of
have to
opinion.
agree with
this,
it.
this is not a matter of opinion, and this is what they're going to
what
argue.
your opinion is.
But
You're
that's
not
fine.
agreeing
And
with
if you go up to a jury, they're going to use their opinion. They're going to be like, and guess who their lawyers are going to elect? They're
Yeah.
going to elect people who think like, yeah, pandemic's pretty justifiable because it is.
But again,
Because this isn't any other time in
They
the
are-
world.
I think you're taking again that statement. Like that statement is not saying they put it on streaming and that therefore that's not justified. That's not what that's saying.
But it is saying they put it on streaming, and I didn't get as much compensation as I should have because nobody negotiated with me. And that's why that is being there. But regardless, I am saying that there was justification for them going this route. There is no justification for not communicating with your actor and talking to them, at least encouraging.
So
To talk to-
without knowing the full extent of the contract, could it not be possible that that is part of the contract and that is what they're saying they're in breach of? That they did not communicate this change
listen,
and did not offer
I
a negotiation.
No, I understand what the lawsuit's for. The lawsuit is for the fact that they didn't communicate and renegotiate the money.
Right, so that's what's in breach.
Right.
So that's what doesn't. You just said that doesn't have justification. So the breach of contract, which is them not communicating this,
Right.
is what the breach is.
Dude, go back
Not
to my
putting it
go
on
back go
streaming.
back to the fucking highlighted statement that I did. Statement specifically says Disney intentionally induced Marvel's breach of agreement without justification in order to prevent Miss Johansson from realizing the full benefit of her bargain with Marvel.
Yeah.
Uh, there's another part to that where it says to release it in theaters or to release it on streaming. That is, reading that statement does not state, if I read that statement, that does not state anything about we didn't renegotiate.
Hold on. I'm trying to find the.
It just says that they, without justification, to see full potential. That's all that says.
I'm trying to figure out what. Disney chose to placate Wall Street investors and pad its bottom line rather than allow its subsidiary Marvel
Right.
to comply with the agreement.
Supposedly, this move was, she's the. I guess part of the lawsuit is, they're claiming that the reason this was done was to help people
To increase it says right here.
to
It's no
increase.
secret that Disney Plus is releasing films like Black Widow directly onto Disney Plus to increase subscribers and therefore boost the company's stock price, and that it's hiding behind COVID-19 as a pretext to do so.
It's hiding behind COVID-19 as a pretext to do so.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think they're in luck that this happened and they're able to do this. Yes, but
But I mean that is the pretext.
but that's
They
fine.
did not
But that's
have to-
fine. But
they
listen,
did not
here's
have to put
but
it on
here's
the
my
stream.
question. But here's my question. If they didn't do this and she didn't get additional compensation for it being
Because what I'm guessing, and again, they're never going to release the actual original agreement. What I'm guessing is that the original contract states that she gets X% on the back end of theater sales.
it does
and-
say that. It does
and,
say that.
And X% of streaming revenue based on memberships for the streaming.
Well,
Therefore,
it doesn't say that. That's the problem.
But most likely that's what it says based on the membership. So my $14.99 or 10, whatever the hell fucking Disney Plus is a month.
Right.
If it's 10, let's say it's $10 a
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
So she gets a percentage
Well, the
per subscriber who watches it
Right, but that's the thing.
in total.
Right, but that's
Versus the $30.
From what
the
I-
$30 is the difference.
from what I understand. That's not anything that it has to do with this lawsuit. The lawsuit is simply that because they released it at the same time, it took away performance from in the theater, which then would have allowed her to make extra money if it performed well in the theater.
Johansson's legal team said the representative for the actors were worried that Black Widow would debut on Disney Plus even before coronavirus was brought to a standstill. As part of the suit, they share emails from the star's management group that asked the studio to guarantee that Black Widow would premiere exclusively in cinemas. In response, Marvel chief counsel Dave Gallucci promised a traditional theatrical bow, while adding, "We understand that should the plan change, we would need to discuss this with you and come to an understanding, as this deal is based on a series of very large box office bonuses." So, they were told by the legal representation for Marvel that if they did not
All right,
choose,
that's fine. This is new information to me. I'm talking about before this information was out, and basing it
but that's
off
what I'm
of.
saying. Like,
Well, that's great, and there's more situation, and there's more information. I'm
that's
go-
why you can't just look at the one statement. Like,
Well, when that's all that's released at the time, I can because that's all I have to go off of. So if your legal team is providing this as information to the media of your lawsuit,
Warner Brothers opted to send its entire film slate to HBO Max, realizing that the movie theaters were only operating at limited capacity. The studio had to pay tens of millions of dollars to the stars for those. Yeah, HBO did oddly enough. HBO did the right thing.
yeah, sure, they paid.
Warner did
But
the
from
right
what
thing.
I understand,
They paid
like,
ahead of time.
right, from what I understand, she did also get money from maybe not the amount that would have been renegotiated because certain things are different, right? Like you said, maybe she got that amount because originally they said, you're gonna get back in money for how it does on, but obviously that $30 because of everything, how everything's going or whatever it might be, whatever the statement is, going off the original news that came out.
Right.
I'm not talking
it is
about
ridiculous to say that the pandemic is not justification to
correct.
to move the schedule.
But now
But
that I know,
I did not believe
that
was what you were
this idea of releasing it simultaneously onto Disney Plus was even before the pandemic, because that's what I just said. Well, then that's a different story. Which also then, if that was the idea, then did nobody bring that up during the conversation of making this movie?
No. It wasn't about before the pandemic. It was the fact that they had delayed it, and from what I just read and the way I interpret it, is that her and her legal team were expecting that the movie would be delayed until it could have a theatrical run.
No, I
And
understand
when
that,
it
but
came
it
out
said,
in
but
theaters, it would have a theatrical run before it went to
no,
streaming.
I understand that, but if you actually read what you just had up, or it said before that, it said that there was also notion that it would be released on Disney Plus,
After the fact, yeah.
but not like before the pandemic. They said
Yeah, because this was a movie that they Disney Plus was already a thing when they started
right,
making this.
right. So they said this was going to happen. So how is that not? I don't understand. How is that not?
Because
if that was already an idea and something that was going to almost certainly happen,
That it was going to eventually come out on Disney Plus, yes.
No,
But
from
it would
what
the whole thing is that
from
they-
what I
they
just
had
from what you
assurances.
bring that back up, because
They
from
had
what you just
assurances
read, it sounded like this was like simultaneous, like at the same time it was going to come out.
no, I don't know where you read that.
You just read it from what I was hearing you to fucking read.
He says, as a part of the suit, they share emails from the Star's management group that asked the studio to guarantee that Black
Right,
Widow-
I'm not talking about that. It's up here. It's no secret that Disney is releasing films like Black Widow directly onto, and that it's hiding behind, but ignoring the contracts of the artists responsible. Fuck, man. Why is it?
I just changed fucking
Yeah,
fonts for some
Jesus
reason.
Christ. Holy shit.
But ignoring the contracts of the artists responsible for the success of its films in furtherance of the short-sighted strategy violates their rights, and we look forward to proving as much in court. This will surely not be the last case where Hollywood
Yeah,
talent
I've read
stands up
this.
to Disney.
I've read this multiple times. Actors were worried that Black Widow would debut on Disney Plus even before coronavirus. So
Even before coronavirus brought life to a standstill.
right. So even before that, even before coronavirus brought life, they were
concerned about
they were
it.
concerned. So if you were concerned about it, why didn't you do it then? Why didn't you when you?
They did. They said, "Hey,
That's not
this
a
is
that's
gonna
not a
have
con- that's not a contract. Dalbor, me and you will.
No. I'm sorry. I don't know how you think the law works, but if I contact your legal representation and say, "Hey, I need
Dalibor,
assurances that this is going to happen in
Dalibor,
XYZ
Dalibor,
order," and
Dalibor,
your legal representation
Tell
says,
me,
yes,
tell me, you haven't countless times talked about how stupid we have customers that say they have contracts on their phone that are via text. Tell me how stupid that isn't. So you're gonna accept an email saying, "Sure, yeah,"
because the
not in a signed contract, is it? Email? Come on, admit it right now. Admit it right now.
if that's the only piece of information that
That
they
is
had,
what he is saying right here. He's saying that in response, he got an email stating, "We will make sure that it's a." That's an email. Where's the signature?
yes, understandable.
Where's the signature?
Completely, I understand what you're saying.
Come on,
not
bro.
debating
That's stupid.
I'm not.
They
debating
should have
that,
never
but
released
again-
that to the
again-
press.
Again, we do not know the actual text of their original
That-
agreement,
that's
and we never will.
That's great. Yeah, we never will. But saying this part right here, that they had a concern, which tells me it wasn't in the contract, because if they had the concern and they had to email legal, why didn't you, if you had this concern, why didn't you talk about a contract when you
They
had,
may have.
huh?
They may have. This is just the one set of emails.
Well, that's great.
They may
but
have also tried to have, because from
this sounds communication. Before it doesn't sound like,
Disney, this is Marvel's team.
you know what?
That's the suit. The suit is not against.
I know Marvel. It's against Disney. I get it, because
Yeah.
they're technically two different entities, even though they're the same company.
Right.
Yeah,
But that's
stupid
the thing,
shit.
is that it's stupid, but that's what it is. That's how
Listen,
this shit works.
at the end of the day, if you had the concern even before COVID was gonna make life stand still, maybe.
I'm thinking that concern came up like February last year, when it was like, hey, we're like 3 months away from debut, but there's like talk of this fucking virus, like we don't know what's gonna happen. They're like, hey, this thing's still gonna be out in theaters, right? Like they sent an email just kind of ahead of time, like,
Listen, here's
just
the
to make
thing.
sure we're all on the same page.
Here's the thing. Marvel is wrong. Period. I'm not, or not Marvel. Disney's wrong. They should have renegotiated. And that's just dumb.
Yeah, the whole thing is silly.
There's dumb on there. But so is Scarlett and her team. Her lawyers are dumb too. If they didn't see, oh, they have a streaming service, they might pull this shit. Maybe we should talk about this. Even before, even 2019, when this movie was in talks and they knew, oh, by the way, we're going to be having a streaming service. Probably just.
Yeah, but they didn't. That's the thing. Disney Plus kind of just happened.
No, it didn't. They talked about it for a while. They're like, Disney Plus is
Black
coming
Widow
out.
was already on the books at that point.
Was
Black
it?
Widow was already filmed at that point.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
Nope. Not at that point.
Yes.
No.
They filmed Black Widow in 2019.
When they talked about Disney
So
Plus,
when they signed for Black Widow,
when they talked about Disney Plus and about the things that are going to be happening on Disney Plus before it even came out, Black Widow was not filmed.
it was being filmed the year Disney Plus came out.
That's fine. The year that it came out, the year that it got announced, and all the shit that was going to be on it. At that time, you should have been like, "Oh, you're releasing a streaming service? Let's talk about this contract before we start filming."
I think it was already filming. Let me see. Disney Plus announce date. When was this? Let's see. Disney Plus on Wikipedia. When was it announced? Actually, launched in November 2019.
Disney
Disney
Plus.
took the opportunity to use technologies developed to establish production of films and television shows for exclusive release began in late 2017. So the production began in 2017. It launched November 2019. I don't remember there being like a year of fucking lead up. They were like
There was.
6 months out.
Regardless, I mean, but dude, they knew in 2017.
Disney knew. They weren't going to tell fucking a star.
Disney knew, which means Kevin Feige knew, because
No.
production
Guarantee
of
you know.
production of films and television shows for exclusive release.
Yeah.
You're telling me
Disney shit that they released in 2019 and early 2020, because you'll remember none of the Marvel shit came out until this year, and it was all filmed during COVID.
so you believe that Kevin Feige, who is the brains, didn't know that he was going to have to now start thinking about the shit he's got to release
Not in
for a
2017.
streaming service.
And
But not before Widow was actually filmed?
let's see.
Late 2017, with Shortland hired in 2018. I don't know what that means.
Plot, cast. Where's the fucking production? Jesus Christ. When did they actually start filming? Discuss 2017. Discuss. Holy shit. When did they actually start filming? Pre-production, February 2019. So they did not even have a final script in February of 2019.
Well, there you go.
So,
They should have probably thought about this.
well,
They should have probably thought about this.
look,
I'm just letting you know they're both
I
they're
agree
both
with you.
dumb.
I would have stopped the filming.
Yeah, I'm saying they're both dumb.
I would have stopped it dead.
Me too.
I would have been like,
But that's what
hey,
I'm saying.
so I see a lot of talk about this Disney Plus thing. Just to make sure, I'd like it on record, on paper, with signatures, that this is still coming out.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I don't want this to suddenly like be the movie that's padding up the fucking Disney Plus.
That's
release.
what I'm saying, dude. I would have.
That'd be my move, but I'm an asshole.
But I mean,
I'm an asshole.
but are you? Because right now, like, some people would look at her and be like, "You're the asshole."
I mean,
You made your money.
I still disagree. Well, the potential $50 million loss, to me, that is an amount of money that I could literally make a lot of people's lives just.
I completely understand that, but you got to
such an obscene
understand.
amount of money difference.
Right, but you got to understand when they're working, like, don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of money to them, but, like, she's made $50 million just from probably 3 movies at Disney
Right.
or Marvel or whatever. But she's been in, what, 6? So, I mean, like, yeah, I get that she's losing 50 mil. Well, we don't know, actually,
It's
how
different.
much.
It's
We don't
different
know
when
how
you're
much
the
she's
lead.
losing.
It's different, man.
Well, I
You get a lot
understand
more
when you're
money.
the lead, but if you're going to be the lead in a movie, you should probably think about this shit. If you're concerned about,
Listen,
let me
Hodge,
actually
all I
fuck
wanna
it,
know
not
is,
even
I just want to see the first mutant in the Marvel.
Here's the thing. Not
He's in
even.
this
Here's the
movie.
thing. Here's the thing. Not even being a lead. If you're concerned about money, compensation, you should have thought about this.
Agreed.
If that's your concern, if going into movies and you're like, I'm the lead, but fuck that. How about compensation?
Where that money?
Where that money at?
Where my money?
Then you should probably think about all aspects of money then.
Agreed. I agree.
Or you should hire somebody to think on all aspects of money for you.
So that's the lesson of today's podcast.
Yeah, don't be a dick to your female coworkers.
Please don't. Fucking God.
Always, if you're into the money aspect, think
you
about it all the time, 24/7, and make sure you're getting your due if that's what
Make
you're
sure
concerned
you're
about.
getting paid.
If that's what you're concerned about. There's
Did you finish Loki?
and there's more than and there's more than one
We're
company.
gonna do an MCU catch.
And there's more than one company, Blizzard and WB, that are assholes.
They're all assholes.
They're all. I mean, listen. I
Let's
think
be serious.
Ubisoft's got like something going on too, or they've had it for a while now.
EA's been an asshole for fucking 4 years, 5 years now.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all assholes.
EA stopped being cool when it was like EA Sports.
Yeah. It's in the game.
That's when it was cool. Now it's
now
like,
it's just
Now
EA.
they're the beast.
Yeah, now-
they're the monster. They're the fucking mid-level boss.
They are.
Disney's the high level.
But
boss.
I think
We're not confused.
ultimately, though, it's like, yes, a lot of companies do crazy, stupid, bad shit, but you have to make those companies see, maybe we should fucking stop, make other companies pay for it.
It's true.
Companies that are in the fucking eye now.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about cancel these companies. I'm talking about just make them really pay for it. Make them understand they fucked up.
That's my my very little income from that they're making from me, like my potential.
Yeah, don't get me
streaming-
wrong.
My
Like,
potential
what?
streaming and promoting Overwatch
Yeah.
and shit like that. That's not happening no more.
No,
So,
well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's I told
Not
as soon
talking
as I
about it,
as
I'm
soon
not-
as I this came out, you were actually on your way to Colorado when that lawsuit came out.
yeah,
Yeah,
I had read it. I literally had
Yeah,
read it
yeah.
that morning.
yeah. And so I called you, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like whatever anything, whatever the ant of fucking a notice I was giving them, I wasn't gonna do it. I was done. I was done. And once again, it's not about cancel culture. It's about making people pay for
Shit they do.
the shit they're doing. Not
Like
what
taking
they-
$50 million from your lead actress. God damn it.
I agree, dude. Dude, hey, man, you know I was the first one to get mad when fucking Disney and Sony couldn't shut the fuck up and try to ruin Spider-Man for everybody again.
Jesus
So, I'm all about doing it right. It's just I think in that situation, I think they're both at fault. I think they're both.
Oh yeah,
they're both idiots.
Listen, what I'm thinking is
They're both
her,
morons.
her lawyers dropped the ball, and then they went to her and they're like, look, we could sue them.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. That's probably.
sue
Listen,
them, like, they took
we
money
didn't
from
think
you.
about. We're not going to tell you we didn't think about. You know what? They fucked us. We should sue.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's probably what happened.
All right, well, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for
But
listening.
yes, Scarlett, I believe
if
if you're watching this, Scarlett, I believe you deserve the money. I do. Listen, she deserves money. I think she's an awesome actress.
I think if she gets that $50 million, I think she takes that $50 million, divvies it up amongst the fucking people that made that movie, the fucking stunt people,
100%.
the fucking special effects
Dude.
people, the people who get fucked royally every single time.
Perfect example, by the way, of somebody that has like a huge heart that's in the movies, Keanu Reeves. He like I think one of his Matrix movies he didn't take any. He gave like most of it to the rest of the people working on it,
Yeah, which is good.
which is
That's how it should be.
bro like
That's how it should be. Because
he already has millions.
That Oscar-winning movie with the kid and the kid and the tiger in the fucking ocean.
Oh, Life of Pi.
Life of Pi.
Life of Pi.
The company, the CG company that made that is gone.
Gone.
They don't exist no more.
Yeah.
They went into debt
Yeah.
to make that movie, and they did not get paid.
They didn't
I mean,
get
they got paid.
They got
but,
paid,
like,
but
not
not
enough.
to keep them afloat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gone. No, hell yeah, man. I agree. Or at least
pay the
listen.
CG people.
Listen.
Pay the people to
If
make
not
you a
all,
superhero.
listen. If not all the 50 million, if assuming that's the number, then at least 25. Take 25 and pay the people
pay the
that.
CG people.
pay
Pay
the-
the CG people. Pay the stunt people. Pay the people that make you a superhero.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's me for this one. Thank you for
I
watching.
would.
Thank you for listening.
I pull Keanu Reeves, Yeah.
Fucking all of it.
dude.
She gonna make another 50 million in another fucking 2 movies.
And like I just said, she made at least 100 million from 6 movies. So like,
Shut up.
come on,
Shut up.
come on,
Shut up.
come on, Robert Downey Jr. Give your production crew some money.
Yeah.
That motherfucker got around.
I want to see like a grip from a fucking MCU movie walking around in a like a nice car.
Right?
Yeah, like nice.
That would be
good,
cool.
Good suit.
Yeah.
Come on a set to like fucking fling tape and shit.
Yeah.
Hold lights, but in like a fucking Versace suit.
I'm saying. Fucking A, man.
All right, that's good.
All right.
Thank you.
Later.
See ya.